I'm in Konoha, and my ninja cats are invincible in the world. This video is purely for entertainment, and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting, and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26 Yang Yan, meet your excellency. Uchiha Shisui took it, opened his eyes, and closed them only after making sure that everything was okay. Mizuki, thank you. You're too polite, Minister. Since you've joined the patrol department, we are all partners. If you need any help, just let me know. Yes, Minister. To Mizuki, hearing what Uchiha Shisui said was enough. It was not in vain that he had gone to Iruka to get the information today and hadn't had lunch yet. Not long after Mizuki left, Uchiha Shisui also left. He took the information and returned to the Uchiha's base. To be exact, it was the ninja tool shop. Shiraishi, this is for you. Information for the early graduation exam. Yes. Uchiha Shisui nodded. I still have work to do, so I won't stay any longer. I'm leaving first. Since you're here, have lunch before you leave. No matter how busy you are, you still have to eat, right? Forget it, it's too late. Then take this. Shiraishi picked up a small bag from the table. Some snacks. This time, Uchiha Shisui didn't refuse. Thank you. Without waiting for Shiraishi to speak, Uchiha Shisui left. Meanwhile, in the backyard, Peiko Mako's morning training of Uchiha Izumi also came to an end. The man and the cat walked out of the backyard and came to the lounge. A scent of cooking wafted out from the kitchen. Uchiha Izumi looked into the kitchen. Alice senpai. Alice turned around and saw Uchiha Izumi and smiled. It will be ready soon. Go wash your hands. Okay, Alice senpai, you've worked hard. After washing his hands, Uchiha Izumi took the initiative to clean up the table and then went into the kitchen to help. Shiraishi senpai, it's ready. Okay, I'll be right there. Shiraishi entered the dining room. Uchiha Izumi sat down next to Shiraishi, and opposite him were Peiko Mako, Alice, and Violet. Uchiha Izumi was also very familiar with Peiko Mako and the other two, so even if he and Peiko Mako and the other two were eating at the same table, he wouldn't find it strange. It's delicious, Alice senpai. Thank you. Alice smiled. Eat more if you like. Peiko Mako ate slowly, but the food in front of him was dwindling very quickly. Violet, on the other hand, showed a kind of elegance when she ate. Shiraishi looked at Uchiha Izumi. 83, a very good big brother. Shiraishi finished eating and put down his chopsticks. Izumi, after you finish eating, come to the lounge. I have something for you. Okay. Uchiha Izumi showed a hint of curiosity in his eyes. He quickly finished the food in the bowl and sent it to the kitchen. Seeing that Alice and Violet were still eating, he went to the lounge first and came to Shiraishi. Shiraishi senpai. Izumi, sit down. Yes. During this period, Izumi, how do you feel about your training? Very good. I have made a lot of progress, mainly because of Mako senpai's good teaching. Shiraishi nodded. Machiko told me about your situation. Your current strength has completely reached the level of a genin. It's actually a waste of time to stay in the ninja school. Here is a document for applying for early graduation. If you are interested, you can take a look. Uchiha Izumi's eyes lit up. Apply for early graduation? Yes, if you are interested, you can take a look. It doesn't matter if you are not interested. Uchiha Izumi quickly flipped through the documents on the table. Shiraishi senpai, I actually wanted to apply for early graduation for a long time, but my mother has always refused, and I don't know how to apply. Did you, Shiraishi senpai, find this document for me on purpose? I guess so. Thank you so much. Uchiha Izumi looked at Shiraishi. Shiraishi senpai, you are such a good, very good senior. Shiraishi waved his hand. Read the document. You just finished lunch, so it's not suitable for intense training. When you finish reading this document, you will have almost finished digesting the food, and you can go to training. Yeah, okay. Shiraishi walked out of the lounge and looked back at Uchiha Izumi at the door. 90, a very good big brother. A voice sounded in Shiraishi's mind. The monitoring found that Uchiha Izumi's favorability has reached 90. Do you want to collect it? Collect. Collected successfully. Do you want to make a request? Shiraishi entered the store and sat down on a chair. Request. You sent a request to the heavens and the worlds. In the vast universe, countless eyes looked over. An existence named Yangan responded to your request. You received a B-level response. The next moment, a ball of white light appeared in Shiraishi's hand. Yangan? Shiraishi recalled the information of this character. From the world of Koga Ninja Scrolls. A ninja. With a gentle appearance, but with a strange poison, and this poison has a characteristic, that is, when the desire is high, it will be spit out from the mouth involuntarily. A tragic character. He loves others bitterly, but he can't get a response. He can only look at his sweetheart cautiously. Moreover, under the general environment, he cannot decide his own destiny. He was tortured to death, and when he died, he couldn't even fulfill his humble wish of going to the underworld with his beloved. If we talk about tragedy, there is indeed a similar tragedy to Uchiha Raizumi in the original plot. Maybe, this is why Yangan will respond to Uchiha Raizumi's favorability. Shiraishi came back to his senses, picked up the bottle of snacks next to him, and shook it. Hearing the sound, the ninja cats came over one after another. At this time, Violet had finished eating, and came into the store. Shiraishi looked at Violet. Violet shook her head. This means that there is no one around. Shiraishi threw the ball of light in his hand to the ninja cats. A ninja cat with dark purple fur saw the ball of light, jumped up, and pounced. Then, the ball of light entered the body of the ninja cat. A burst of white light suddenly burst out on the dark purple ninja cat, covering the whole cat, forming a cocoon. Not long after, a crack appeared on the cocoon. A figure walked out from it. The humanoid figure walked upright, wearing a purple and white skirt. If Violet exuded an elegant aura, then the aura exuded by this ninja cat at this moment was gentle and charming. The ninja cat came in front of Shiraishi, lowered its body slightly, and saluted Shiraishi. Kajero, hello, sir. Shiraishi nodded and looked at Kajero. Some words appeared next to Kajero. Name, Kajero. Cat. Gender, female. Strength, Jonin. Can be upgraded. Weapon, none. Ability, Demon Lip Snake Breath. Chapter 27 Strengthening, Double Magatama. Strength of a Jonin level, and an ability that is good at assassination. Not bad, not bad. Unfortunately, this ability is only effective on the opposite sex. However, in this world, most ninjas are male, so the use of the Demon Lip Snake Breath is still quite wide. Another voice sounded in Shiraishi's mind. You successfully trained a ninja cat and received a reward. Do you want to claim it? Come. You received a boost. A burst of power poured into Shiraishi's body. Shiraishi clearly felt that it was similar to the last time when Peiko Mako appeared. Physical fitness, chakra, spirit, all-round improvement. The next moment, Shiraishi felt that these powers poured into his eyes again. A Magatama appeared in Shiraishi's eyes, and soon, it turned into two Magatama. Double Magatama. All-round enhancement. The single Magatama also turned into a double Magatama. Compared with the single Magatama, dynamic vision and chakra observation have greatly improved. Shiraishi came to the mirror and looked at himself. According to this progress, if I can get another B level and the enhanced rewards above B level, my comprehensive strength can reach the level of special Jonin. In that case, my self-protection ability will be improved again. Peiko Mako is very strong. Violet is quite strong. Kajero's ability is even better than Violet. However, external forces are external forces after all. Shiraishi still hopes that his own strength is strong enough. In that case, he will be truly strong. A 13-year-old special Jonin can be considered as a good talent. Compared with geniuses like Uchiha Shisui, Uchiha Itachi, and Kakashi, a 13-year-old special Jonin is still a little worse. But compared with other ninjas, it is already quite good. The genius of the Gekko family, Gekko Heiate, was only promoted to Chunin at the age of 13. Mitarashi Anko, a disciple of Orochimaru, can be valued by Orochimaru, so her talent must be good. But throughout her life, special Jonin is already the limit. Marino Ibiki forced Hashigaki Kasane to commit suicide by jumping off a cliff. Before committing suicide, he also killed a female ninja who had a crush on him. She was also just a special Jonin. In my current situation, the previous ninjutsu is no longer enough. We have to get some new ninjutsu. In addition to the basic physical skills and 3 body skills, the ninjutsu that Shiraishi currently masters are the Fire Style Great Fireball, Fire Style Phoenix Fire, and Fire Style Great Dragon Fire Jutsu. You can start with Shisu. With Shisu's current relationship with me, he will definitely not refuse. Shiraishi felt that the Uchiha family was not suitable at the moment. The main reason was that the situation within the Uchiha clan was more complicated. Shiraishi stood on the side of Uchiha Shisu. In the future, Uchiha Shisu and Uchiha Fugaku will inevitably stand on the opposite side. Therefore, Shiraishi did not want Uchiha Fugaku to know his information. Instead, he waited until the critical moment to expose part of his strength. At that time, it might be of great use. Shiraishi looked at Kajero again. Sir. Yang Iron noticed Beishi's gaze and lowered his head slightly. Beishi seemed to have thought of something, and a hint of strangeness arose in his heart. Yang Iron, how do you use your ability? My lord, you just need to touch the other person. Just touch. How long does it take? This is much simpler than Beishi expected. It has something to do with the opponent's strength. The weaker the opponent, the shorter the time required. Take me as a reference. Yang Iron raised his head and looked at Beishi seriously. It doesn't take a breath of time. If I'm poisoned, how long can I last? Within half an hour. If you don't find a way to detoxify, you will definitely die. Beishi nodded. According to Yang Iron's description, the practicality of the ability of the demon lip snake breath is still very strong. He is one step away from becoming a special Jonin, and he doesn't even need a breath of time. For those who are weaker than him, Yang Iron needs less preparation time. And more importantly, after being poisoned, the time left for the opponent to detoxify is also very short. Once Kajero hides his identity and sneaks up on the other party, let alone a Jonin, even an elite Jonin or even a cage level ninja, the possibility of being hit is very high. It is very difficult to detoxify. In addition, Kajero can also use his poison with the help of other people or ninja cats. Whether it is assassination or auxiliary attack, Kajero is very good. Kajero's poison is probably not worse than that of the red sand scorpion. Of course, this does not mean that Kajero's strength has reached the level of the red sand scorpion. The red sand scorpion is more of a puppeteer. For him, poison is just an auxiliary means. However, for Shiraishi, Kajero is just one of the ninja cats. In addition to Kajero, Shiraishi has other ninja cats, and the number of ninja cats will increase in the future. Nothing else. Kajero, you can go down first. Violet, briefly introduce our current situation to Kajero. Shiraishi looked at Violet again. Yes, sir. Violet took Kajero away. Shiraishi summarized his current situation. First, I'm a Chunin with 2 Magatama. Then, there is Mako Hirako, an elite Jonin, good at swordsmanship, illusion, and frontal combat. Violet, a special Jonin, can see through, see far, and read minds, a ninja cat of the auxiliary intelligence type. Alice, a Genin, good at cooking, a ninja cat of the life type. Kajero, a Jonin, good at poison, an assassination, an auxiliary ninja cat. The overall strength is already okay. The main thing is that they have all aspects, including frontal combat, intelligence, assassination, and life. Compared with some small ninja families in Konoha, they are stronger. For example, the Gekao clan. The family genius that the entire Gekao clan has high hopes for is just a special Jonin. Because he was seriously injured in the missions in his early years, he was sick most of the time, and could not carry out tasks that required too much physical strength, energy, and endurance. The entire Gekao clan may not even have an elite Jonin. It was approaching nightfall. Not long after Uchiha Raizumi left, a figure came towards the direction of the ninja tool shop. Shiraishi senpai. Itachi, long time no see. Shiraishi's heart moved slightly when he saw the person coming. Did you just return to the village not long ago, after going out on a mission? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28 Uchiha Itachi's thoughts. Uchiha Itachi shook his head, then nodded, as if he was still hesitant to speak. Come in first and talk. Shiraishi took Uchiha Itachi to the lounge. In the past few days, I was actually in the village, but I didn't show up, not to anyone, hiding in the dark. Uchiha Itachi said, after completing the mission, and returning to the village, I learned that Senior Shizu and Senior Yashiro had reformed the guard department, so I hid in the dark to observe. It is indeed useful for the villagers, but it is useless for the Uchiha people. Some villagers are no longer so resistant and hostile to the Uchiha people because of the reform of the guard department. But the villagers themselves are not the key to the problem. From the beginning to the end, the key to the problem lies in some members of the Uchiha. I saw it. Because of the reform of the guard department, those Uchiha members have become more dissatisfied with the village. The attitude has become more radical. They are more dissatisfied with the village. Senior Shisu's reforms have not improved the situation of the Uchiha, but have had the opposite effect. Shiraishi. It cannot be said that what Uchiha Itachi saw was wrong, because this situation is real, and the reason why Uchiha Shizu persuaded Uchiha Yashiro to reform the guard department was to make these people more radical. But what Uchiha Itachi saw was too one-sided. However, Shiraishi was mentally prepared for Uchiha Itachi's reaction. Itachi, do you have any ideas? Uchiha Itachi said. The mentality of this part of Uchiha must be controlled as soon as possible, otherwise it will bring great disaster to the Uchiha village. We must strike the Uchiha as soon as possible. Shiraishi asked. Is it the plan you mentioned last time, Itachi, to kill the elite ninjas in the Uchiha clan? That's right. Besides this, Itachi, do you want a better way? Shiraishi said, in order to curb the mentality of some members of the clan, we can find a few innocent elite ninjas, kill them, and take their lives. This seems a bit unfair to them. Uchiha Itachi was silent for a moment. You can choose from those people with radical mentality. Shiraishi shook his head. However, they are just thinking about it, and have not yet done what Itachi imagined. Bad people are judged by their actions, not their heart. There are no good people in the world if you judge their heart. Under the current circumstances, they are also innocent. Uchiha Itachi frowned. But if we leave them alone, they will bring about terrible consequences. Their dissatisfaction with the village will become stronger and stronger. The hatred in their hearts will increase. Their attitude will become more and more radical. They will affect other Uchiha. Moreover, Senior Shiraishi, I believe you also know our clansmen. Most of them are very narrow-minded. Many people's vision is limited to the family, not the village. The longer the time is delayed, the more such Uchiha will be. At that time, the Uchiha will inevitably rebel. Start a civil war. But the Uchiha has no possibility of winning. There is no other result, except being suppressed and killed. The Uchiha will also bear the name of traitor and rebel. The great reputation of the Uchiha will be insulted by them. When that time comes, if you still want to save the Uchiha, there is only one way. Uchiha Itachi did not continue to speak. But Shiraishi has already thought of it. Uchiha Itachi's meaning should be to exterminate the Uchiha clan. Shiraishi lowered his head, his eyes flickering. You've already thought of exterminating the Uchiha clan at this time. It's really scary. It seems that Uchiha Shizu must not die, otherwise, even if I control the situation of the Uchiha, Uchiha Itachi, who has opened the Mangekyou Sharingan, will inevitably go crazy. Itachi Uchiha without the Mangekyou Sharingan is easier to deal with. Shiraishi completely disagrees with Uchiha Itachi's idea. Uchiha Itachi said that most of the Uchiha clan members are narrow-minded. But in Shiraishi's opinion, most of the Uchiha clan members are ordinary people, ordinary ninjas. There are only a few who are really radical, and some of them are just talking nonsense. If most of the Uchiha were like this, they would not have voted for Hashirama Senju instead of Madara Uchiha when the first generation of Hokage of Konoha was voted. They would not have chosen to refuse when Madara Uchiha asked them whether they wanted to follow him and leave Konoha. Speaking of narrow-mindedness, it should be Uchiha Itachi himself who is narrow-minded. Uchiha Itachi has too many prejudices against other Uchiha clan members. In addition, there is the issue of the great reputation of Uchiha mentioned by Uchiha Itachi. Shiraishi feels even more puzzled. What great reputation does Uchiha have? Isn't it just a powerful ninja family? Where does this come from? It is nothing more than the strength of the members of the Uchiha family, the strength of Uchiha Madara, the strength of Uchiha Raizuna, etc. Even if the Uchiha started a civil war against Konoha, it would not have any impact on this reputation. How many years has Konoha been founded? Only a few decades. Even if the Uchiha clan really left Konoha, it would not be something worthy of being insulted, right? Since each ninja clan still maintains the concept of family, then isn't it normal for family ninjas to regard the family as more important than the village? It is not just the case with the Uchiha. In Shiraishi's opinion, there is a considerable paradox in the extermination of the Uchiha clan. That is, the people in the village are right to regard the family as more important than the village. Then, Uchiha Itachi should not have attacked the Uchiha, but should have stood in the Uchiha camp. The people in the village are right to regard the village as more important than the family. Then, Uchiha Itachi should not kill all the Uchiha people, and should not attack those innocent people. Uchiha Itachi continued, "Senior Shiraishi, will Senior Shizu come over tonight?" "Yes." "Okay, then I'll wait for him here. I want to have a good talk with him tonight." "Okay." Shiraishi said, "Itachi, you can stay in the lounge, or go to the backyard. I'm going to the store. I heard that there seem to be guests coming just now. I have to entertain them." "Okay, Senior Shiraishi." When Shiraishi left the lounge and came to the store, his face sank slightly. Chapter 29 The Knife That Stabbed Uchiha Fugaku. Shiraishi knew that Uchiha Itachi's ideas were very extreme, but he still underestimated the degree of Uchiha Itachi's current extreme. At this time, he had already thought of exterminating the Uchiha clan, if he had to. He was extremely afraid of the radical Uchiha faction, and he also thought that the entire Uchiha would be bewitched by the radical faction. Now, Shiraishi had two choices. One was to kill Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi had not yet awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan. Shiraishi was not sure about his specific strength, but it was not to the point that even Hirako Makoto and Kajero could not kill him together. Especially Kajero's ability. Another option was to tell Uchiha Itachi about Uchiha Shizu's current plan. Then, based on Uchiha Itachi's thoughts, he would definitely stand on Uchiha Shizu's side. The advantage of the former is that it can really cause the Uchiha Shizu camp and the Uchiha Fugaku camp to break up. Uchiha Fugaku may not be able to find out the murderer who killed Uchiha Itachi, but suspicion does not require evidence. Uchiha Shizu's camp, the village's high-level camp, and Uchiha Fugaku will all be suspicious. In that case, Sarutobi Hiruzen's trust in Uchiha Shizu will be greatly increased, and his fear of the Uchiha clan will be greatly reduced. But the downside is that the Uchiha clan may continue to split. The advantage of the latter is that they can add a tool like Uchiha Itachi, who is quite powerful. Shiraishi and Uchiha Shizu can use Uchiha Itachi to do a lot of things. For example, pull Uchiha Fugaku down from the position of clan leader. Without Uchiha Itachi, it will be much more difficult to do this. But the downside is that Uchiha Itachi, as a tool, is not so stable. However, for Shiraishi, as long as Uchiha Itachi has not awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan, no matter how unstable it is limited. Shiraishi understands Uchiha Itachi's thoughts and his way of thinking. So, for Shiraishi, Uchiha Itachi is actually controllable. In addition, keeping Uchiha Itachi alive has another benefit for me, that is, it can improve Uchiha Itachi's favorability, make requests, get responses and rewards. Shiraishi's eyes flickered. Moreover, Uchiha Itachi thinks he is very smart, and only believes in what he thinks, and does not believe in the opinions put forward by others. However, this way of thinking is actually very simple. Facing such a person who thinks he is smart, but is not smart enough, throwing out a little clue, and guiding him secretly will make it easy to control this person's thoughts. Shiraishi made a decision. It is indeed bad to treat Uchiha Itachi as a member of the clan. However, if Uchiha Itachi is treated as a tool, then Uchiha Itachi can actually be used for a while. At least before Uchiha Shizu becomes the head of the Uchiha clan, he can be regarded as a relatively handy tool. This is the best sharp blade to stab Uchiha Fugaku. Shiraishi does not think that he can't even control a tool when he has the system. At night, the sky darkened. Not long after dinner, Uchiha Shizu came to the ninja tool shop. Senior Shizu, Itachi. When Uchiha Shizu saw Uchiha Itachi, he was slightly stunned, and his eyes subconsciously shifted to Shiraishi. Shiraishi said. Itachi came in the afternoon and has been waiting for you, Shisu, for a long time. Regarding the reform of the guard department, Itachi has a lot to say to you, Shisu. The reform of the guard department? Shiraishi, don't you know everything? I told you this part. Itachi mainly wants to talk to you about some of the impacts brought about by the reform of the guard department, especially the situation within the Uchiha clan. As he said that, Shiraishi gestured to Hirako Mako. Mako, go guard the door. Yes, sir. Then Shiraishi sat down. Shisu, Itachi, sit down and talk. Uchiha Shisu sat down next to Shiraishi, and Uchiha Itachi sat opposite him. Itachi, just say whatever you want. Uchiha Shisu looked at Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi nodded. Senior Shisu, I think your reform of the guard department is wrong. After the reform, the attitudes of the radical members have become more radical than before. They will probably soon coerce and incite the village to rebellion, leading the entire Uchiha on the road of self-destruction, destroying the reputation of the Uchiha, and harming the village. Senior Shisu, do you know about their changes? Uchiha Shisu nodded. Yes. This is exactly what Uchiha Shisu and Shiraishi planned. They knew it before it was carried out, and it was Uchiha Shisu who took the initiative to guide these people's more radical attitudes. Uchiha Itachi frowned. Since you know this, Senior Shisu, why do you continue the reform? Because this is what we planned, Uchiha Shisu said. After he said this, Uchiha Itachi suddenly became alert and subconsciously touched the ninja bag on his waist. The atmosphere in the lounge also changed. Uchiha Shisu was surprised by this change in Uchiha Itachi. For a moment, Uchiha Shisu didn't know what to say next, because Uchiha Shisu didn't know what Uchiha Itachi was thinking now, and why it changed so much, because of his words. But Shiraishi knew. Itachi, don't be nervous. Shiraishi said quickly, Shisu and I have no intention of betraying the village and leading a civil war. We just want to reform the guard department and ease the relationship between the Uchiha and the villagers. Hearing Shiraishi's words, Uchiha Itachi's expression eased a little. Uchiha Shisu came back to his senses and looked at Uchiha Itachi seriously, as if he wanted to get to know him all over again. But, you will realize that the reform has failed. Why do you continue? Shiraishi explained, because compared with the disadvantages of this part of people's attitude becoming more radical, we get more benefits. We have two purposes for reforming the guard department. One is to ease the relationship between the Uchiha and the villagers. The second is to let Shisu become the head of the guard department. The situation within the Uchiha clan is complicated. If we want to change this situation, we must have our people in high positions in the Uchiha clan, and this is the fastest way. Once Shisu becomes the head of the guard department, he will be a high-ranking official in the Uchiha clan. Shisu can manage those Uchiha members, control those Uchiha members, change those Uchiha members, and restrain those Uchiha members. Uchiha Shisu nodded. Yes, this is our plan. It was not until this time that Uchiha Itachi completely removed his hand from the ninja bag. But, Senior Shiraishi, can this really control those radical people? Senior Shisu, how long will it take for you to get the position of the head of the guard department? Chapter 30 Shisu, Itachi makes me a stranger. As long as I become the head of the guard department, I will definitely be able to control the situation of the majority of the clan members. There is no problem with this. I'm sure of this. However, I'm still a little short of the position of the head of the guard department. Uchiha Shisu said. I see. Is there anything I can do to help? Uchiha Itachi asked. Shiraishi glanced at Uchiha Shisu. If Itachi has time, you can continue to secretly observe those radical Uchiha. We are also trying to find a way to speed up Shisu's position as the head of the guard department. Uchiha Itachi nodded. Okay. The three continued to chat for a while, and Uchiha Itachi looked at the time and prepared to say goodbye. Senior Shisu, Senior Shiraishi, then I will go back first. Be safe and be careful on the road. If you come here tomorrow, Itachi, you can bring Sasuke with you. Alice has researched a lot of new recipes during this period. Okay, thank you Senior Shiraishi. Uchiha Itachi came to the door, flashed, and left. Shiraishi looked at Violet. After Violet nodded, he turned to Uchiha Shisu. Uchiha Shisu's expression became very serious. Itachi just now made me feel very strange. I didn't expect that he would do such a thing and have such strong distrust of me just because I might have some bad thoughts about the village. In Itachi's heart, is the village so important? He called me senior so intimately before. He also said that he regarded me as a brother and a role model. Uchiha Shisu's mood was a bit complicated. Uchiha Shisu also cared about the village. But Uchiha Itachi's reaction made Uchiha Shisu a little sad. Was he so untrustworthy? Did he look like a bad person? However, Uchiha Shisu thought of another possibility. Shiraishi, do you think Itachi is pretending? Shisu, do you think Itachi is still on Fugaku Senpai's side? That's right. Uchiha Shisu nodded and said, after all, Itachi is the son of the Fugaku clan leader, but the attitude he just showed shows that he values the village more than anything else. That's unreasonable. Doesn't he care about the Fugaku clan leader and Mikoto senpai? Doesn't he care about Sasuke? Shiraishi asked Uchiha Shisu in return. Then, what is the purpose of Uchiha Itachi pretending like that? Maybe he noticed our thoughts and felt that we don't trust him that much, so he used this method to gain our trust and get our information? There is this possibility, but it's not likely. Shiraishi said, they have other better ways to get our information. There is no need to let Itachi do this, and subconscious reactions can't deceive people. Shisu, do you think Itachi can deceive the two of us so perfectly? Uchiha Shisu fell into silence. No. Itachi is indeed talented, but he is still young after all. There should not be many people in this world who can deceive both of us at the same time, and the current Itachi is not one of them. I thought about what happened just now, and it is true that Itachi's reaction was subconscious. But this makes me even more puzzled. Why does Itachi have such an attitude? The Uchiha looked at Shiraishi with a puzzled look in his eyes. The conservative Uchiha wants to stick to the current situation of the Uchiha. The radical Uchiha wants to get more resources from the village and get better treatment. And we want to solve the problem between the Uchiha and the village. We care about the village and the Uchiha. But Itachi seems to regard the village as more important than anything else. He is the son of the chief of the Fugaku clan. Shiraishi shook his head. I don't know. But this at least proves one thing, that is, when you want to get the position of the head of the guard department, or even the position of the head of the Uchiha clan, Itachi will not be our enemy in this process. He will stand on our side. If Itachi's heart is above everything else, in this process, we can trust Itachi. After all, whether it is conservatives or radicals, it is not what the village wants to see. What we are doing now is more in line with the interests of the village. Uchiha Shisu nodded. That's the truth. But I still find it weird. Shiraishi, let Itachi officially join our plan from today, but only let him participate in the more marginal things. Don't give him the core information for now. Too weird. I have known him for so many years, but now I find that I don't seem to know him well. Shiraishi shrugged. Of course, I will continue to test it. I'll leave it to you, Shiraishi, but be careful. Itachi's strength is not weak. Mako is here. It's okay. Well, forget it. Let's not talk about Itachi. Even if Itachi has problems, it won't affect our plan. Tomorrow, the Hokage will organize the elders and the top leaders to hold a meeting. Uchiha Shisu said, after this meeting, the new regulations will be issued, and the situation of the patrol department will be completely stable, which will also be of great help to me in obtaining the position of the head of the guard department. After obtaining the position of the head of the guard department, the next step is to obtain the position of the head of the Uchiha clan. Shiraishi, do you think we will succeed? Shiraishi smiled. It will definitely succeed. I think we will succeed too. I hope that day will come soon, so that the Uchiha can be completely integrated into the village, and there will be no more crises like now. Uchiha Shisu left. Shiraishi simply washed up and went into the bedroom. Mako Hirako was guarding the door. Violet and Kajero were in the other two directions. With 3 ninja cats guarding, Shiraishi's safety was greatly guaranteed. It was late at night. Uchiha Itachi did not sleep, but came to the roof. I was so shocked. Senior Shisu and Senior Shiraishi are not that kind of people, but I had such a big reaction when I heard what Senior Shisu said. It's all because of those radical Uchiha who made me so nervous. But, can Senior Shisu and Senior Shiraishi's plan really succeed? Those people are not so easy to restrain. Only fear can restrain them. But let's see first. Give Senior Shisu and Senior Shiraishi a chance. Chapter 31. I just don't want to embarrass you. Itachi, Sasuke, I'm here. Shiraishi heard the voice and came to the door. Good morning, Shiraishi senpai. Good morning. Have you had breakfast? Alice just made some porridge. Do you want to try it together? Uchiha Sasuke showed a hint of expectation in his eyes, but he didn't say anything and looked at Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi nodded. Then I'll trouble you, Shiraishi senpai. You're welcome. I just made a lot. The three of them came to the restaurant. Alice made osmanthus porridge, which is made of rice and osmanthus as the main ingredients. The light fragrance is refreshing. After taking a bite, it gives people a very refreshing feeling, and the whole person's spirit is lifted. Delicious. Uchiha Sasuke picked up the bowl and smiled happily. Uchiha Sasuke has no worries now. Uchiha Sasuke doesn't know the situation of Uchiha. In Uchiha Sasuke's view, his brother can accompany him and then come to the ninja tool shop, eat such delicious food, and practice kune throwing with Peiko Mako. He is very happy. As long as you like it. Shiraishi looked at Uchiha Sasuke. 58. A big brother who gave me a lot of delicious food. Then, Shiraishi turned his attention to Uchiha Itachi. 75. A senior who is still sober. When he saw this number, Shiraishi couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. To be honest, Shiraishi was a little surprised. After what happened yesterday, according to Shiraishi's understanding of Uchiha Itachi's favorability should have decreased. After all, a conflict almost broke out, and his subsequent explanation was not so consistent with Uchiha Itachi's thoughts. But compared to yesterday, Uchiha Itachi's favorability actually increased? Strange. After drinking the porridge, Shiraishi gestured to Peiko Mako. Miko, take Sasuke to the backyard to practice kune throwing. Yes, sir. Uchiha Sasuke followed Peiko Mako. Soon, only Shiraishi and Uchiha Itachi were left in the lounge. Senior Shiraishi. Uchiha Itachi hesitated for a moment and said, regarding the plan you talked about yesterday, I thought about it for a long time after I went back. Senior Shisu, it seems that you have become a little different from before. Senior Shiraishi, can I ask a question? Shiraishi nodded. Of course. Why didn't you tell me about this plan? Now Shiraishi realized why Uchiha Itachi's favorability towards him increased. From Uchiha Itachi's words, it can be heard that Uchiha Itachi's favorability towards Uchiha Shisu seems to have decreased. But it is not a simple decrease. It is more like part of the favorability has been transferred to himself. Because I was the one who took the initiative to explain last night. Can Uchiha Itachi's favorability be improved like this? Shiraishi's mood became a little subtle. But Shiraishi didn't think it was a bad thing. Shiraishi generally agreed with Uchiha Shisu's ideas. If Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Shisu continue to have such a good relationship, it may affect Uchiha Shisu's ideas. That is not what Shiraishi wants to see. Reduce Uchiha Itachi's favorability towards Uchiha Shisu and transfer Uchiha Itachi's favorability to himself. This is a matter of killing two birds with one stone. First, Uchiha Itachi's favorability towards himself has increased. Second, it reduces the possibility of Uchiha Itachi influencing Uchiha Shisu's thoughts. Third, it will be more convenient for him to use Uchiha Itachi as a tool. Because of your identity, Itachi. Shiraishi said, Itachi is the son of the Fugaku clan leader. For a long time, the Uchiha affairs have been controlled by the faction of the Fugaku clan leader. What Shisu has to do is to take this part of the power that was originally controlled by the people of the Fugaku clan leader's faction into his own hands. So I didn't tell you. Uchiha Itachi was stunned. Senior Shisu, don't you trust me? It's not that I don't trust you, but the relationship between father and son is special. In a sense, Shisu is the enemy of the Fugaku clan leader, and you are the son of the Fugaku clan leader. Shiraishi said, after all, helping your relatives is not helping others. This is the choice that most people will make. Shisu didn't tell you, not because he doesn't trust you, Itachi, but because he doesn't want to embarrass you. Uchiha Itachi lowered his head and was silent for a long time. Senior Shiraishi, can I ask you another question? Can you answer this question truthfully? Don't lie to me. Is the real purpose of your plan really for the betterment of the village? Of course. Shiraishi said seriously, 100%. The purpose of this plan between Shisu and me is to ease the relationship between the Uchiha and the village, so that the Uchiha can integrate into the village. Shisui and the Hokage have also discussed this point. If Itachi doesn't believe it, you can ask the Hokage for confirmation. Hearing Shiraishi's words, Uchiha Itachi seemed to be relieved. I'm sorry, now I know it's my fault. I shouldn't have doubted you. But I'm not such a narrow-minded person. Where the leaves flutter, the fire will also continue. It is because of the efforts of countless predecessors that we have the peace and stability of the village. I understand all these principles. Therefore, those of us who enjoy peace must never drag the village back into the flames of war. The village is stable, the family is stable. The family is stable, the people are stable. Therefore, I can't stand on the side of those radicals who want to start a civil war in the village. If Senior Shisui becomes a senior member of the family and can control the situation, I don't think there is anything wrong with that. High positions should be occupied by capable people. Senior Shiraishi, you can rest assured that I will never hinder you because of my father's relationship. As long as what you do is beneficial to the village, I will stand on your side. Shiraishi nodded. Then his heart moved slightly. Itachi, Shisui and I understand you and can trust you. I know that you have the capacity and your heart will not be limited by family affection and family, but not everyone understands you. Therefore, there will inevitably be people who doubt you because of your identity. You can understand this, Itachi, right? Uchiha Itachi nodded. I understand. So, Itachi, in order to reassure these people, I can only make an excessive request of you. Shiraishi senpai, what request? Shiraishi said, Shisui is now the head of the patrol department, but to be promoted to the head of the guard department, he still needs some time. Uchiha Itachi frowned and interrupted. Do you want me to kill the 8th generation senior? Shiraishi. No, Shisui and I have other ways to make the 8th generation senior step down. The main reason is that Shisui's current qualifications are not enough. We need to create an opportunity for Shisui to make meritorious service. Chapter 32 If I take up the cause of the village, how will you respond? To create an opportunity for Shisui senpai to make merit? That's right. Shiraishi said, if Itachi takes the initiative to do something like this, you can get the recognition of those people. In addition, this will also be helpful to the village. It can make Shisui one step closer to the position of the head of the guard department. Uchiha Itachi nodded. Shiraishi senpai, what should I do specifically? I don't know. I haven't thought of it yet. Itachi, you can go back and think about it. If you think of it, you can come to the ninja tool shop and we can discuss it together. Okay, Shiraishi senpai. Uchiha Itachi left. But Uchiha Sasuke was still there. Uchiha Itachi looked back at the ninja tool shop. Yesterday, Uchiha Itachi didn't completely believe in Shiraishi and Uchiha Shisui. Even if Shiraishi's explanation was reasonable. However, once the seeds of doubt are born, it is not an easy thing to remove. But today's situation is different. Shiraishi took the initiative to say that Uchiha Itachi could go to confront Sarutobi Hiruzen. This sentence convinced Uchiha Itachi. If Uchiha Shisui really wanted to start a civil war, he would never have communicated this plan to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Uchiha had absolutely opposite positions on starting a civil war. Uchiha hesitated for a moment and walked towards the Hokage building. He planned to confirm it in person. However, when he was halfway there, Uchiha Itachi stopped again. Because Uchiha Itachi thought of another point. Shisui senpai and I have such a good relationship, but he doesn't trust me because I'm his father's son. Then, what about Hokage-sama? In the eyes of Hokage-sama, he must be more willing to believe Shisui senpai than me. In that case, I may not get the real answer. Shiraishi senpai dared to let me confront Hokage-sama, which is enough to explain the problem. Shisui senpai, I haven't changed. It's just that you underestimated me. I'm much more capable than this, Shisui senpai. Uchiha Itachi looked back in the direction of his home. Father. Originally, Uchiha Itachi was somewhat dissatisfied with Uchiha Fugaku, and believed that the current situation of Uchiha had a lot to do with Uchiha Fugaku. Now, this dissatisfaction has become even more. What can I do to help Senior Shisui get closer to the position of the head of the guard department? How can I create an opportunity to make meritorious service? Uchiha Itachi jumped lightly and came to the electric pole next to him. He squatted on the top of the electric pole and fell into deep thought. Shiraishi came to the backyard. Senior Shiraishi. Uchiha Sasuke looked over. Sasuke, how was the Kyune throwing practice? Very good. That's good. By the way, let's have lunch here at noon today. Itachi has something to do and left first. I'll take you home in the afternoon. How about that? Uchiha Sasuke nodded. Okay, please help Senior Shiraishi. You're welcome. Shiraishi returned to the lounge. Uchiha Itachi seems to be easier to control than I expected. As long as you add the village's justice and make it logically reasonable, Itachi seems to believe it. And he will work very hard for his goal. Shiraishi showed a strange look on his face. It's like a robot that has been trained by others. As long as the instructions that match the robot's settings are input, the robot will act. Shiraishi looked at Violet. Violet, tell me what Itachi really thought just now. Yes, sir. Violet spoke slowly. Shiraishi smiled. Because according to what Violet said, Uchiha Itachi's answer just now was the same as what Uchiha Itachi thought in his heart, which means that Uchiha Itachi is really a robot. I didn't think in this direction before. Now that I think about it, it's reasonable. After realizing this, I can completely control Uchiha Itachi in the palm of my hand and find a suitable excuse to input instructions. The situation suddenly became clear. Shiraishi felt like he had strayed into a paradise. It was very narrow at first, but then it became passable. After walking a few dozen steps, it suddenly became clear. My thinking was wrong before. What I thought was that Uchiha Itachi had a big problem with his thinking. He only believed in what he thought up and would not listen to what others said. He was arrogant and stubborn. He put the interests of the village first. He put the family first. His methods and ideas were very radical. Therefore, he was very wary of Uchiha Itachi and kept a distance and was vigilant, fearing that Uchiha Itachi would go crazy and do crazy things. However, Uchiha Itachi is extreme, arrogant, stubborn, and will not listen to other people's advice. In fact, it is equivalent to that Uchiha Itachi's thinking has been fixed. It has been fixed into a line drawn by Uchiha Itachi himself. This line is like a rein for Uchiha Itachi. As long as I hold this rein, I can control Uchiha Itachi's actions. To put it simply, it is, Uchiha Itachi, if I take up the interests of the village, how should you respond? However, you have to guide him, not give him suggestions. Otherwise, Uchiha Itachi will easily become argumentative. A customer walked in, and Shiraishi came to the store to entertain him. 8 kunai, 2 detonating tags, 4 senbon. Wait a moment. After watching the customer leave, Shiraishi sat down on the recliner. A fat orange cat came over and lay down at Shiraishi's feet. Listening to the orange cat's snoring, Shiraishi relaxed a little. Next, I have 2 things to do. One is Shisu's plan, to become the head of the security department. The second is to find another suitable person to improve the favorability. Uchiha Izumi's favorability has been completed. Uchiha Sasuke is in progress. Uchiha Itachi is in progress, but Shiraishi does not have too high requirements for this. He did not think about raising Uchiha Itachi's favorability to a high enough level within a limited time. It's still hard to choose a target outside of Uchiha. The hand-beating uncle is one. Within Uchiha, there is no good choice for the time being. The Uchiha 8th generation will be easier to deal with after Shisu obtains the position of Minister of the Guard Department and the Uchiha 8th generation retires from the position of Minister. Tonight, let's go to the hand-beating ramen restaurant. Take Violet with you. I wonder who will respond to the request, based on the hand-beating uncle's favorability. Liu Saberu? Nakiri Sinseman. In addition, Shiraishi thought of another person, but he quickly denied it. To get a response from that person, unless the hand-beating is really Otsutsuki. Chapter 33, Hand-beating and a chorus's surprise. At 4:30 in the afternoon, Shiraishi came to the backyard. Uchiha Sasuke was sitting on the steps. Peiko Mako stood quietly not far away, leaning against the tree trunk. Sasuke. Shiraishi senpai. 60, a big brother who is very good to me. How was the practice? Uchiha Sasuke puffed up his chest slightly. Now I'm throwing kunai at a fixed target, 10 meters away, and basically only one of my kunai will miss. Not bad, not bad, very good. It seems that Sasuke is also a genius. In the future, I believe that Sasuke will definitely become a very good ninja like Itachi. Shiraishi senpai, do you also think my brother is excellent? Of course, Itachi is a genius of our Uchiha. This is a recognized fact. In front of Uchiha Sasuke now, Shiraishi can't say a bad word about Uchiha Itachi. Shiraishi has tested this before. Uchiha Sasuke worships Uchiha Itachi abnormally. It's not an exaggeration to say that he is a brother control. Shiraishi can improve Uchiha Sasuke's favorability by saying good things about Uchiha Itachi in front of Uchiha Sasuke. On the contrary, it will decrease. Senior Shiraishi, do you know my brother? Can you tell me something about my brother? Yes. Shiraishi nodded. Let's talk while we walk. I just need to go out for a while. I'll take you home first. Okay. Shiraishi walked out with Uchiha Sasuke. Peiko Mako, Kojiro, and Alice all stayed at home. Violet followed Shiraishi. Shiraishi sent Uchiha Sasuke to the door. Only after watching Uchiha Sasuke enter the yard did Shiraishi look away. Violet, let's go. Yes, sir. One person and one cat left the Uchiha's residence and headed for the handmade ramen shop. Along the way, Shiraishi felt more clearly that the strange gazes on him had decreased a little, which proved that the reform of the guard department was effective. Those guys in the patrol department are so hateful. Not reasonable at all. They keep talking about the village rules, but we are human beings. We just want to live a better life. What's wrong with that? They have a good income, so of course they don't have this concern. They just know how to be harsh on us. It seems that we have wronged the Uchiha before. The people in the patrol department are more strict than the Uchiha people before. In the final analysis, it's still the village rules. People like us are not taken seriously. Those big businessmen and big ninja families control the interests. Those Uchiha people before probably had no choice. Now that they are not responsible for this aspect, it can be seen that their attitude is obviously much better. They will consider people like us when mediating. Speaking of which, the Uchiha is actually not that bad. They are also one of the founders of Konoha. Their current situation is far worse than that of other ninja families. Violet repeated what she heard to Shiraishi. It was not much different from what Shiraishi expected. People are such creatures. When the patrol department meets with the villagers will only resent the members of the patrol department. When the patrol department enforces the villagers, it will only emphasize that this is a regulation formulated by the village leaders and will not say that it is the request of the security department. In addition, the security department also acts as a mediator. The patrol department has a harsh attitude, and the security department is gentle when mediating. Under such a comparison, the villagers will naturally have a good impression of Uchiha. In addition to the previous discrimination against Uchiha, they may even feel a certain guilt. However, there are also opposite voices. For example, it is said that this is a conspiracy of Uchiha. Deliberately put the pot on the people of the patrol department. Now the people of the security department are just pretending to be good people. There are many such voices. The prejudice in people's hearts cannot be changed in a short time, and some of them are because of conflicts of interest with Uchiha, so it is impossible for them to look at Uchiha with good intentions. But no matter what, compared with before, the reputation of Uchiha is changing for the better. That's enough. Enter the handmade ramen shop. Shiraishi, why are you here so early? Ayame smiled when she saw Shiraishi walk in. There was no one else in the store at this time, because it was not time for dinner yet. Sister Ayame, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I came here this time because I actually have something else to do. What is it? If I can help, just tell me. With a favorability of 90, Shiraishi has reached the level of a best friend for Ayame. I accidentally got a ramen recipe, so I would like to ask Sister Ayame and Uncle Han to see if you can reproduce this ramen recipe. Ayame became a little interested. Let me see. Okay. Shiraishi handed over the recipe. Because the previous recipe was already very worn out, and when I got it, I didn't protect it well, so it became even more worn out, so I copied it again. Yeah. Ayame took it, and looked at it carefully. After that, Ayame's eyes lit up. As a chef, he is very sensitive to things like recipes. Even if they haven't actually cooked it yet, they will still imagine it in their minds, because they have cooked so many dishes that they will naturally have a rough idea of the effects of different ingredient combinations. Just like when a powerful ninja sees a certain ninjutsu scroll, he can roughly judge whether the ninjutsu in it is strong or weak. It seems very good. Ayame was a little surprised. Shiraishi, although I haven't made this recipe yet, I can feel that after reproducing the recipe, it will definitely be a very good ramen. Then can I trouble Sister Ayame to try to restore it for me? Of course. Ayame said, it's a great fortune for me to have the opportunity to restore such a recipe. Shiraishi, don't say whether you can help or not. I should thank you. I will definitely restore this recipe. The girl who usually looks gentle at this moment also exudes a good aura. At this moment, a hand came out from the back kitchen. Ayame, what's wrong? After walking a little further, I saw Shiraishi standing at the front desk. Shiraishi, Uncle Shouder. A chorus explained to Shouder, Father, Shiraishi got a ramen recipe in hopes that we can help restore it. I took a look and this recipe should be very good. Recipe. Shouder immediately became interested. Chapter 34 Uzumaki Naruto's favorability. Ayame handed over the recipe in his hand. Shouder read it carefully. In terms of cooking, there may be people in the ninja world who are better at cooking than Shouder. But for ramen, Shouder felt that no one in this world would be better than himself. But what Shouder was thinking about was still to go one step further. In addition to his continuous research, Shouder also wanted to study some lost recipes. And now this one has obviously attracted Shouder's attention. It's more than just good. Compared with Ayame, Shouder's cooking skills are better. Shiraishi, leave this recipe to Ayame and me. We can definitely restore it. Then I'll leave it to Uncle Shouder and Sister Ayame. You're welcome. Shouder waved his hand and said, Ayame, you look after the store. I'll go buy the ingredients. Okay, Father. Shouder rushed out of the store excitedly. And Ayame began to prepare the things he needed in the store. Shiraishi did not leave. Not long after, Shouder came back. The two began to try and got busy. Shouder was in command, and a chorus assisted. Shiraishi looked at Shouder. 82, a good boy. Because of the appearance of this recipe, Shouder's favorability increased by 2 points, and this was when the recipe had not been restored yet, which proved the appeal of the recipe to Shouder. According to this calculation, if a few more recipes are provided, Shouder's favorability can be increased to 90 points. Waves of fragrance floated out. At the door, a figure was attracted by the fragrance and walked in. Shiraishi's eyebrows moved slightly. Uncle Shouder, what are you doing? It smells so good. Hey, Naruto. Shouder looked back. I'm making a new kind of ramen. Do you want to eat ramen now? It's a little too early. New ramen, can I try it? Shouder did not answer, but looked at Shiraishi. Shiraishi hesitated for a while and nodded. The hand typer said, sure, I'll bring you a portion when it's ready. Thank you, Uncle Hand Typer. Naruto sat down happily in the corner. Naruto originally liked to sit at the front desk, but since Shiraishi was sitting at the front desk, Naruto took the initiative to choose the corner. Done. The sound of hand typer rang out. Ayame brought a bowl of ramen to Shiraishi. Sister Ayame. Shiraishi motioned for Ayame to come closer. Ayame was stunned for a moment, then bent down. Sister Ayame, don't let Naruto know that this recipe has something to do with me. After all, I'm a Uchiha, and I'm afraid someone will think too much. Ayame nodded. Okay. Ayame felt that Shiraishi was a little too worried. It was just a bowl of ramen. And Shiraishi didn't deliberately provide the ramen recipe for Naruto. He just happened to come across it. But with a favorability of more than 90 points, he naturally wouldn't refuse Shiraishi's simple request. This is another use of favorability. Shiraishi can judge what kind of words he can say to what kind of people through favorability. Ayame thinks Shiraishi is too worried. But Shiraishi knows that some people in Konoha are worth speculating with the greatest malice. And soon, Shiraishi's judgment was verified. Not long after Naruto entered, a figure also walked in. A person who looks like an ordinary middle-aged person, but in fact, there are obvious signs of ninja training on his body. As soon as he entered, he looked at Shiraishi first, and then looked at Naruto. Shiraishi didn't believe that this person was nothing. Guest, what would you like to order? The hand noticed the middle-aged man walking in. Give me a tonkotsu ramen with barbecued pork. Okay, wait a minute. While eating ramen, Shiraishi glanced in the direction of the middle-aged man in Naruto calmly. 0. Uchiha's little bastard. 25. I don't know him, but he doesn't seem to hate me. I don't know if it's my illusion. Shiraishi retracted his gaze. Little bastard? From the root? Or the Anbu? What did the Uchiha do to you? Killed your parents? Or cheated on you? Shiraishi's eyes flickered. Ayame brought the second bowl of ramen to Naruto. Thank you, Sister Ayame. You're welcome. Ayame smiled and returned to the front desk. At this time, the hand was preparing pork bone ramen for the middle-aged man. After the pork bone ramen was ready, he prepared 2 bowls of ramen for himself and Ayame according to the recipe provided by Shiraishi. Shiraishi took a sip of the soup first. A burst of rich aroma instantly burst out in Shiraishi's mouth. The original name of this ramen was Seiichiro's Special Ramen. It was created by Yukihiro Joichiro. The soup base is made of soy milk and burnt miso. It also adds powdered shrimp taro. Mushrooms and wakame are used to enhance the freshness. Yuzu is also added to the noodles to relieve greasiness. However, the most critical ingredient of this ramen, tempeh, cannot be made by hand in a short time. It takes time to prepare. Therefore, compared with the real Seiichiro ramen, this ramen is much worse. But it is already very good. After all, it is a recipe created by Yukihiro Joichiro, plus the cooking skills of the hand. Of course, if it is placed in the world of Food Wars, it will definitely not be good. But this is a world of Naruto. Shiraishi, how is it? The hand looked at Shiraishi and asked. Delicious. AA next to him also smiled. Very delicious, very fragrant, and different from the ramen we made before. The taste is very strong. The hand nodded. It's really good. But then, he sighed again. It's a pity that some of the ingredients in the recipe can't be reproduced now. I need some time to prepare, otherwise this ramen will be more perfect. However, it's already so delicious now. I wonder what it will be like after the ingredients are complete. It's really exciting. This is a very amazing recipe. Shuda looked at Shiraishi with burning eyes. Shiraishi, can you authorize this recipe to me? I can pay it, no matter what the price is. Shiraishi smiled. Uncle Shuda, you are too polite. I just found this recipe. Uncle Shuda and Sister Akoris can bring it to life, so that I can taste it. I'm already very satisfied. Uncle Shuda, if you want to use it, just use it directly. You don't need my authorization. Cooking belongs to the world. Shuda was stunned when he heard Shiraishi's last sentence. Cooking belongs to the world. He came back to his senses and looked at Shiraishi again. His eyes changed. Shiraishi, I didn't expect you to have such an understanding of cooking. It's really amazing. You are a person who truly loves cooking. Then I'll be welcome. I will use this recipe. After I have finished my research, I will put this ramen on the shelves in the store, and half of the profit from this ramen will go to you, Shiraishi. At the same time, the numbers above his head changed rapidly. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35 Uchiha Itachi wants to trap the police. 86. Shiraishi is a person who truly loves cooking. With just one sentence, Shouda's favorability increased by 4 points. Of course, it also had something to do with the ramen recipe. However, Shiraishi could feel that the effect of that sentence seemed to be even greater. Famous quotes. Shiraishi's eyebrows moved slightly, especially famous quotes that can be recognized by the other party. Shiraishi looked at Shouda and shook his head. Uncle Shouda, I just found this recipe. I'm not the creator of this recipe. I don't have any contribution. You really don't have to share the profits with me. No, if you found it, it's yours. If I don't share the profits with you, Shiraishi, then what am I? Shouda insisted. Shiraishi glanced at Violet. Violet nodded, indicating that this was what Shouda really said. Shiraishi said, okay, since you insist, Uncle Shouda, then I will share a part of the profits, but half is too much. Give me 30%. This 30%, leave it with you first. Shouda hesitated. Okay, 30% is 30%. A customer walked in. Originally, Shouder wanted to talk to Shiraishi again, but because a customer walked in, he swallowed the words on his lips and looked at the customer. Before, Shouder always waited until Naruto and Zangian left before discussing ramen with Shiraishi. Shiraishi and Ayame made the request, and Ayame told Shouder, but he didn't say it very clearly. Therefore, Shouder thought that Shiraishi didn't want others to know about ramen. What does the customer want to order? One beef ramen. Okay, wait a moment. While preparing ramen, Shouder said to Shiraishi, wait until I solve the problem of tempeh. Shiraishi, you can come and try it. It may take 3 or 4 days. Okay, Uncle Shouder. Shiraishi stood up. Then I'll go back first. Goodbye Uncle Shouder. Goodbye Sister Ayame. Goodbye Shiraishi. Shiraishi walked out of the Shouder ramen shop. Regarding the issue of profit sharing, Shiraishi's idea of making decisions is actually very simple. That is, according to Shouder's true thoughts, it would not be good if Shiraishi refused Shouder forcefully when he wanted to divide the money, but it would definitely not be appropriate to just take half of it. At the beginning, Shouder might not care, but after a long time, he would definitely feel a little uncomfortable. It's not that Shouder is a bad person, it's just human nature. In that case, for Shiraishi, it would be putting the cart before the horse. Shiraishi doesn't care that much about money. What he really cares about is favorability. To make money, Shiraishi has many more and better ways. Maybe at that time, Shiraishi had already used Shouder's favorability, but Shouder could contact many people, and it is very likely that he would contact the people whose favorability Shiraishi needs to collect. Therefore, Shiraishi proposed the 30% method. This not only meets Shouder's current true thoughts, but also does not let Shouder have any opinions in the future. In addition, Shiraishi has a vague idea in his mind about how to use the money. A line of sight looked over. Shiraishi looked over subconsciously. Uzumaki Naruto. Soon, Shiraishi retracted his gaze and did not look at Uzumaki Naruto. At this point in time, Shiraishi did not think it was the right time to contact Naruto. Sir, there are many people gathered in the Hokage building. Shiraishi glanced at the Hokage building and thought of a possibility. Is Shisui here? Yes. Shiraishi nodded, knowing that this should be the village's top leaders preparing to discuss the new village management regulations. Let's go back. After we go back, you tell me in detail about Naruto and the middle-aged man, and what you saw in their thoughts. Yes, sir. Back to the ninja tool shop. Violet and Shiraishi sat in the lounge. Alice was busy in the kitchen, and Kajero was helping beside her. Kajero was not good at cooking, but after all, her strength was there, and she could still help a lot, which greatly improved Alice's cooking efficiency. The next day, at night, a figure came to the ninja tool shop. Sir Shiraishi, Itachi, come in. Uchiha Itachi walked in. As soon as he sat down, he couldn't wait to say, Senior Shiraishi, I've thought of it. What did you think of? I've thought of a way to help Senior Shizu create an opportunity to make merit. Tell me about it. Uchiha Itachi said, among the Uchiha radicals, there are many members who are extremely dissatisfied with the village leaders, and they seem to be plotting something. I can alarm these people. After that, they will definitely defect and become rebel ninjas. At this time, if Senior Shizu takes action and catches them, it will definitely be a great achievement. Shiraishi. Even from the beginning, Shiraishi knew that Uchiha Itachi had no good intentions. But such a direct fishing enforcement against his own people still surprised Shiraishi. Itachi, theoretically, your method should be fine, but Shizu will not agree. Shizu will definitely not want to gain credit by framing his people. Uchiha Itachi shook his head. This is not a frame up, Senior Shiraishi. Their hearts are already corrupted. I just exposed their hearts. As I said, Itachi, we judge bad people by their deeds, not their hearts. Shiraishi said, besides, Itachi, your method actually has a problem. That is, Shizu wants to become the head of the security department, to restrain the tribe members. However, using this method, even if those people did make mistakes, it would be more difficult for Shizu to restrain the tribe members, even if he became the head of the security department. In that case, it would be putting the cart before the horse. Uchiha Itachi fell silent. Don't be so anxious, Itachi. This is not something that can be done in a short time. Itachi, you have done a good job. You can put the village's justice above the father-son relationship. This is something that many people cannot do. Hearing this, Uchiha Itachi's mood seemed to improve a little. Shiraishi glanced at Uchiha Itachi, then looked out the window and sighed. Unfortunately, our abilities are too weak. That's why we think of using restraint, or even, when the situation is really out of control, using blood, life, and death to stop the conflict and contradiction between the Uchiha and the village. This is a manifestation of incompetence. If we have strong enough abilities, we don't need to do this at all. We can use non-bloody and non-coercive means to make those radical Uchiha accept our ideas and solve the problems between the Uchiha and the village. That's the real power. Chapter 36 Genin Uchiha Raizumi, here to participate. Please read on. On the surface, Shiraishi was sighing. But in fact, Shiraishi was being sarcastic. Don't you, Uchiha Itachi, consider yourself a genius? Don't you, Uchiha Itachi, consider yourself very strong? Don't you, Uchiha Itachi, care about the righteousness of the village? Since you care so much about the village, and since you are so strong, why can't you think of a way to make those Uchiha obey your ideas without bloodshed or killing? What kind of ability is it to only kill people? People who only kill people are too weak. This is incompetence. However, with Shiraishi's current identity, Uchiha Itachi did not think that he was being sarcastic. Instead, he thought that this was Shiraishi's true thoughts. One is that Uchiha Itachi's favorability towards Shiraishi has reached 75 points, no matter what. In addition, Uchiha Itachi believes that Shiraishi and Uchiha Shizu have both been recognized by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and Sarutobi Hiruzen has a very heavy weight in Uchiha Itachi's heart. At least more than Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Itachi was stunned. After that, he lowered his head even lower. Incompetent. There was a knock on the door. Bang, bang, bang. Shiraishi looked at the door. Uchiha Itachi also came back to his senses. Sir, the midnight snack is ready. Alice walked in. Okay. Shiraishi stood up and looked at Itachi again. Itachi, let's eat together. Uchiha Itachi hesitated for a moment and nodded. Okay, Shiraishi senpai, thank you. You're welcome, Itachi. We are not only clan members, but also friends. Don't be so polite in the future, otherwise, I will think you don't consider me a friend yet. No, no. Uchiha Itachi shook his head repeatedly. Let's go to the restaurant. Shiraishi smiled. After eating midnight snack, Uchiha Itachi left not long after. However, until he left, Uchiha Itachi was still thinking about Shiraishi's words. Before, Shiraishi's words, Uchiha Shizu's words, Uchiha Fugaku's words. Uchiha Itachi heard a lot. But, basically, he didn't listen to it. Uchiha Itachi is proud. As soon as he went to the battlefield, he thought about the meaning of the village. When he saw the sacrifice, he thought about the relationship between life and death, and the meaning of both. Before graduating from the ninja school, he thought about everything with the mentality of a shadow. People gathered together to form a family. Families gathered together to form a village. Because of a sense of identity, they can become partners. And when they become partners, then, a bond is formed. The stability of the village has become the most important thing in Uchiha Itachi's eyes. Before, Uchiha Itachi always hated the radical Uchiha faction. But now, Shiraishi's words stimulated Uchiha Itachi. Because this is equivalent to putting a choice question in front of Uchiha Itachi. Either admit that his ability is not strong enough, or agree to change the ideas of the radical Uchiha without bloodshed and killing. Only one of the two can be chosen. Compared with the latter, Uchiha Itachi did not want to choose the former. Uchiha Itachi did not go home, but squatted on a telephone pole not far from home. A crow flapped its wings and landed on Uchiha Itachi's shoulder. Senior Shiraishi and Senior Shizu lamented their own inadequacies because of this. So, what they can't do, can I do it? Uchiha Itachi fell into a long period of thinking. It was dawn. Shiraishi opened his eyes, washed up simply, and went to the backyard for morning training. As the owner of the ninja tool shop, Shiraishi did not give up his identity as a ninja. Moreover, after being strengthened twice, Shiraishi could feel the fun of being a ninja more than before. Shuriken, Kyune, and Senbon. Fire style, Great Fireball Jutsu. Fire style, Phoenix Fairy Fire Jutsu. Fire style, Great Dragon Fire Jutsu. transformation jutsu, clone jutsu, and substitute jutsu. However, the clone jutsu and the stake substitute jutsu, these two ninjutsu, in the later stages, are very less practical. After finishing the morning training, Shiraishi took a shower, changed into a set of clothes that looked more like the owner of the shop, and came to the shop. Alice was busy in the kitchen, making breakfast. Mako Hirako leaned against the door. Violet sat on the roof. Kajero stayed in an inconspicuous corner. Shiraishi-senpai. A figure trotted over excitedly in the direction of the ninja tool shop. Izumi, good morning. Shiraishi looked at the visitor and smiled. Good morning. Uchiha Izumi quickly handed over the things in his hand. Shiraishi-senpai, this is for you. What is it? A little handicraft I made myself. Then I have to see it. Shiraishi took it and opened it. It was indeed a handicraft, but Shiraishi was not very interested in it. Thank you, Izumi. Thank you for your trouble. It's very good. No, I just made it casually. I don't know what is suitable to give to you, Shiraishi-senpai, so I brought these things I usually make here. They can be used as decorations in the store. Uchiha Izumi looked at the ninja cats in the store again. You can also use them as toys for the ninja cats. There are indeed ninja cats who are interested in these things. A white ninja cat, after seeing the things in Shiraishi's hand, immediately became interested. It came close to Shiraishi's feet and meowed. Shiraishi took one. The white cat held it in its mouth and left immediately. By the way, Shiraishi-senpai, have you noticed any changes in me? Uchiha Izumi looked at Shiraishi expectantly. Changes? Shiraishi looked at Uchiha Izumi seriously. Of course I noticed. Izumi has become more beautiful. Uchiha Izumi's face turned slightly red, and his little feet stomped lightly on the floor. Shiraishi-senpai, you just know how to make fun of me. This is not what I'm talking about. Shiraishi raised his eyebrows slightly. He said this is not the case. So does that mean this is also true? Okay, it's so obvious. How could I not notice it? The Genin forehead protector you wear on your arm. I'm very familiar with it. Izumi, congratulations on passing the early graduation exam. At noon today, I'll ask Alice to prepare a big meal for you. Also, I'll teach you another ninjutsu. How about that? Uchiha Izumi's eyes widened, and he smiled happily. Thank you, Senior Shiraishi. You're welcome. Come in and sit down. Okay, Senior Shiraishi. After sitting down, Uchiha Izumi couldn't help but start talking to Shiraishi about the early exam. Before the exam, these contents need to be kept confidential, but after the exam, they don't need to be kept confidential. The content of the early graduation exam may be different every time. Shiraishi interjected at the right time. Uchiha Izumi's favorability has reached above 90 points, but this does not mean that Shiraishi has to distance himself from Uchiha Izumi and continue to maintain above 90 points. This is a better choice. On the other side, Uchiha Itachi came to Uchiha Makoto with two heavy dark circles under his eyes. Good morning, mother. Can I ask you a question? It's been tested on the test. Please give me some data. It seems that, if the recommended effect does not meet the standard in one day, it will be eliminated. It's much stricter than before. Thank you. Chapter 37 The Roots Spy on Uchiha Izumi. Uchiha Makoto was stunned for a moment. Of course, what's the problem, Itachi? My talent, is it very good? What's wrong? Did something happen? The question asked by Uchiha Itachi made Uchiha Makoto a little worried. Nothing, mother, I'm just asking. Really? Uchiha Makoto looked at Uchiha Itachi carefully, and when she couldn't see any problem, she smiled. Itachi, of course your talent is very good. Is it better than your father's talent? Uchiha Makoto hesitated for a moment. Your father is very good. He was also a genius back then. However, Itachi, your performance is indeed better than your father's, given the same age. How about compared with senior Shisu? Shisu is older than you, so he is stronger than you now, but Itachi, your talent is definitely not worse than Shisu. I believe you will definitely catch up with Shisu and surpass Shisu. Uchiha Itachi nodded. Okay, mother, I don't have any other questions. I have something else to do. I'm leaving first. Before Uchiha Makoto could speak, Uchiha Itachi's figure flashed. Uchiha Makoto showed a look of astonishment. When Uchiha Itachi appeared again, his figure had already come to Uchiha Fugaku. "Father." "Itachi, what's the matter?" "Father, I want to ask you a question." "What question?" "My talent, is it good?" "Of course, you are my son. How about compared with senior Shisui?" Uchiha Fugaku's heart skipped a beat, but he quickly returned to his normal expression. "In my opinion, Itachi's talent is naturally better than Shisui's. Shisui just took advantage of your time." "Okay, I understand. Father, I have something else to deal with, so I won't bother you. Goodbye." Similarly, before Uchiha Fugaku could speak, Uchiha Itachi's figure had already left. Uchiha Fugaku looked at Uchiha Itachi's back as he left, his eyes flickering. Uchiha Itachi came to the top of the forest alone. From here, he could overlook the entire Uchiha clan's residence, even Shiraishi's ninja tool shop. Uchiha Itachi raised one hand and raised it high. Through the gap between his palms, he looked up at the sky. "I'm a genius. My talent is very strong. What senior Shisui and senior Shiraishi can't do, I can do. However, if you don't kill someone, but change his mind, you can only make him feel pain in other ways." Enough pain. Uchiha Fugaku returned home. Uchiha Makoto came to greet him. "Fugaku, Itachi is a little strange today. Did something happen again?" Uchiha Fugaku frowned. "Itachi also asked you some strange questions, Makoto?" "He also asked you, Fugaku?" Uchiha Fugaku nodded. "That's right." Paused. "Let's go to the study, Makoto. Let's discuss this matter in the study." "Okay." The two entered the study, and Uchiha Fugaku closed the doors and windows. Before closing them, he made sure that there was no one around, and then he returned to his chair and sat down opposite Uchiha Makoto. "Makoto, what do you think of the current situation of our Uchiha clan?" Uchiha Makoto was silent for a while. "It's terrible." "Yes, it's terrible, but even when the situation of our Uchiha clan is so bad, the people of the clan can't be united, but have other plans." Uchiha Fugaku sighed. "Forget about the radicals before. No matter what, 8th Daimyo is still a man who has the family in his heart. Radicalism is only directed at the village. But, as long as I control the overall situation, there will be no big problem. But Shisui, he disappoints me so much. When the situation of Uchiha was already not good, he forced the guard department to reform, just to fulfill his own reputation and to plot the position of the future clan leader. He put his own selfishness above the family. This will only make the situation of Uchiha worse. When Uncle Takia talked to me before, I still had a glimmer of hope for Shisui. But now, even Itachi knows it. I have to do something. The position of the Uchiha clan leader must never fall into Shisui's hands. My son, Itachi, will be the future clan leader." Uchiha Makoto hesitated. "Fugaku, Itachi may not mean that. I remember that Itachi and Shisui have always had a good relationship. Maybe Shisui doesn't have such an idea and we misunderstood. The reform of the guard department has indeed eased the relationship between the Uchiha and the villagers." Uchiha Fugaku shook his head. "It can't be a misunderstanding." "Then what are you going to do, Fugaku?" "A young genius, full of ambition, but what does it count for? For the ninja family in the village, no matter how talented a person is, it's just like this." Uchiha Fugaku said, "I'm going to make Shisui suffer a lot." Uchiha Izumi left after lunch. Shiraishi taught Uchiha Izumi a fire-style Phoenix fire technique. In fact, Uchiha Izumi can also obtain these low-level fire-style ninja scrolls by applying to the family, and may even assign ninjas to teach Uchiha Izumi. But his attitude is definitely not comparable to Shiraishi's. I don't know who the village will assign to be the team leader for Izumi. One name after another floated in Shiraishi's mind. Kakashi, my guy, Kunoha, Asuma. Under the previous situation, the village would not have been able to assign these people. However, the situation has changed now. Uchiha Shisui has initially gained the trust of Sarutobi Hiruzen. If we can gain the favorability of these people, we should be able to strengthen a pretty good ninja cat. Violet came to Shiraishi. "My lord." "Violet, what's wrong?" After leaving the ninja tool shop, Izumi went to the commercial street. I saw someone secretly observing Izumi, hiding in the dark, and thinking about something terrible in his heart. Shiraishi narrowed his eyes slightly. "What are you thinking?" "Take Uchiha Izumi away to the root, brainwash him, and train him into a tool man." Shiraishi frowned. Train Uchiha Izumi to be a tool of the root. Danzo, you really dare to think so? Do you think that, now that the Uchiha is divided into two parts and the opposition is serious, it is a good time to make a move? You obviously hate Uchiha so much, and training Uchiha Izumi to be a tool must be the kind of plan to abandon him after using him. Shiraishi looked at the door. Kajero, come in. Yes, sir. From today on, you will follow Izumi secretly and protect his safety. If someone threatens Izumi's life, then, under appropriate circumstances, kill the other person directly. Yes. Chapter 38. The 8th generation of Uchiha is coming. Kajiro's ability is the most convenient for killing people, and his strength is enough. The level of Jonin is actually a very good level for Konoha. The current situation is completely incomparable to the situation in the 4th Ninja World War. Moreover, it is only relative to the root. In addition to Danzo, there are no ninjas with strong strength in the root. In addition, in the battle of ninjas, intelligence is extremely important. The root ninjas do not have Kajiro's intelligence, but Kajiro can obtain the intelligence of the root ninjas by seeking the help of Violet. In this case, it is not difficult for Kajiro to kill the root ninjas. Shiraishi. Uchiha Shisu showed a clear smile on his face. Have the village regulations been issued? Yes. Uchiha Shisu took out a document. This is the current village regulations. Compared with the past, there are many more, and more detailed ones. In the future, many things will have references. The patrol department can better restrain those villagers. The matter of the patrol department has come to an end. This is the first step of Shiraishi and Uchiha Shisu's plan. And now, it is finally completed. Next, I have to find a way to become the head of the security department. After hesitating for a while, Uchiha Shisu asked, Shiraishi, is it convenient for you to let the 8th generation come over? Of course it is convenient. Now, the 8th generation of Uchiha is actually a member of the camp of Shiraishi and Uchiha Shisu, so Uchiha Shisu hopes that the 8th generation of Uchiha can also join the discussion of the plan. After all, the 8th generation of Uchiha is not low in strength and his status in Uchiha is not low. And this is something that Shiraishi has been looking forward to. Shiraishi just needs a reason to contact the 8th generation of Uchiha. Only by contacting him can Shiraishi have the opportunity to improve the favorability of the 8th generation of Uchiha. Then next time I come, I'll ask the 8th senior to come along. Okay, by the way, Shisu, a few days ago, I tested Itachi again. What was the result? Same as before. In Itachi's heart, family and clan members are not that important. Itachi cares more about the justice of the village, so I'll let Itachi participate in our plan. Shiraishi said. I assigned Itachi a task and asked him to find a way to create an opportunity for you, Shisu, to make a contribution. Itachi thought of a way that day, but I rejected it. The way he thought of was to lure several Uchiha people into rebellion, and then let you, Shisu, kill these people. Uchiha Shisu. Sighing, Uchiha Shisu said, I used to think Itachi was quite normal. Why do I feel that he seems to have become a little weird now? Could it be that I was wrong before, or can people really change so quickly? Shiraishi shrugged. But this is a good thing for us, for Uchiha. Such a person is absolutely unsuitable to be the head of the Uchiha clan. It is more appropriate for you, Shisu, to take the position of clan leader. The two discussed the plan for a while. Seeing that the sky was getting darker, Uchiha Shisu stood up and prepared to leave. By the way, Shisu, can you give me some scrolls of fire escape and illusion ninjutsu? Uchiha Shisu's heart moved slightly. Shiraishi, you use it yourself? Yes. Illusion. Could it be that you have already opened the Sharingan? Shiraishi nodded. Yes. Uchiha Shisu smiled. Great, I knew it. Shiraishi, your talent, how could it be bad? Maybe you didn't take the right path before, but now you have found the right path, and the speed of improvement has increased. It's not too late to open the Sharingan at the age of 13. If Shiraishi's strength can be improved to that of a Jonin in the next 2 years, I will feel more at ease. The two of us will definitely be able to stabilize the situation of Uchiha. As he said that, Uchiha Shisu took out 2 scrolls. These 2 scrolls, one is for fire escape, and the other is for Sharingan illusion. After that, he took out a small book. The content of this book is some of my experience in studying the instant body technique. Shiraishi, you can study it. If it is not suitable, Shiraishi, give up in time. Uchiha Shisui said this with no other meaning. A ninja has limited time. Different ninjas are good at different things. Uchiha Shisui just doesn't want Shiraishi to waste time on the part he is not good at. Thanks. You're welcome. I'll go back first. Be careful. Watching Uchiha Shisui leave, Shiraishi immediately returned to the room with the scroll. He first opened the fire style scroll, which recorded several fire style ninjutsu. However, Shiraishi already knew 3 of them. Shiraishi didn't know the remaining 2 fire styles. Fire style, Phoenix Claw Red. Fire style, Great Flame Buljutsu. 2B level ninjutsu. These 2 ninjutsu can actually be regarded as upgraded versions of the 2C level ninjutsu that Shiraishi has already mastered. Fire style, Phoenix Claw Red is an upgrade of fire style, Phoenix Fire Jutsu. Fire style, Great Flame Buljutsu is an upgrade of fire style, Great Flame Buljutsu. Fire style, Phoenix Claw Red combines Shuriken with fire style, Phoenix Fire Jutsu. It has faster speed, stronger destructiveness, and a larger flight arc. Therefore, the enemy will be more difficult to guard against. Fire style, Great Flame Buljutsu greatly increases the destructiveness. Then Shiraishi took out another scroll. Illusion, Sharingan. 2 Magatamas were rotating above Shiraishi's eyes. It seems not very difficult. Easier than fire style, because the main condition is Sharingan. Shiraishi looked at the door. Mako, go catch a mouse and bring it in. Yes, sir. 2 or 3 breaths later, Irako Mako returned to the door again and opened it. Irako Mako stood still, holding a mouse by the tail in one hand. The mouse was very big and fat. At this time, it was struggling desperately in Irako Mako's hand. Illusion, Sharingan. Shiraishi looked over. A burst of illusion power fell on the mouse, and in the mouse's mind, an extremely terrifying picture was being generated, which was more terrifying than the fear that the mouse had seen in his life. Puff. The mouse spit out a mouthful of blood, and the whole body twitched violently. After that, there was no movement. The breath of life was completely dissipated. It died of fear directly in Shiraishi's illusion. Irako Mako became a little interested. Your Excellency used an illusion just now. Shiraishi nodded. Yes, this is the illusion of the Sharingan that I mentioned to you before. In the future, if we need to fight against other Uchiha, we must be careful of this. In a dark basement, a root ninja came to Shimura Danzo and presented a document. Danzo, I have already found out all the information about Uchiha Raizumi. It's all here. Chapter 39 Kajirao vs. Root Ninja. Danzo nodded. He took it and opened it. Uchiha Raizumi, 9.5 years old, just passed the early graduation exam of the ninja school. Father died on the night of the Ninetales. Raised by mother afterwards. Not much contact with other people in the Uchiha clan. Can be used as a target. It just so happens that the Uchiha camp is very divided now. Being able to apply for early graduation shows that he has good talent. The loss of Uchiha Raizumi is also a kind of weakening for the Uchiha. Also, with this chess piece, there will be a lot more places to operate in the future. But we have to hurry. Bring Uchiha Raizumi back before Hiruzen arranges a mentor for him. By then, even if Hiruzen knows, there's nothing he can do. Danzo had never thought of completely hiding Sarutobi Hiruzen from taking Uchiha Raizumi back to the root to train him as a tool. Because Danzo knew very well that he couldn't hide it. Danzo's main purpose was to create a time difference. The relationship between the two was very close and complicated. One was the light of Konoha. The other was the darkness of Konoha. The two of them cooperated, and Sarutobi Hiruzen had a certain ability to restrict Danzo, but he also needed to be tolerant of Danzo, so Danzo had a lot of room for maneuver. In this case, to put it simply, when Sarutobi Hiruzen had already arranged a mentor for Uchiha Raizumi, Danzo had no way to attack Uchiha Raizumi, and Sarutobi Hiruzen would definitely stop him, because he had already made plans for Uchiha Raizumi. But before Sarutobi Hiruzen arranged a mentor for Uchiha Raizumi, Danzo took Uchiha Raizumi to the root and trained him into a tool. When Sarutobi Hiruzen knew about it, he just reprimanded Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen would not change the established facts. In the past, the two of them had gone through many things in Konoha like this. Even if Uchiha Shizu was dissatisfied, it was difficult to change something that had already been decided. And the relationship between these two people was exactly why Shiraishi gave such an order to Kajirao. For Shiraishi, after Violet discovered the roots spying on Uchiha Izumi, Shiraishi had two choices. One was to tell this situation to Uchiha Shizu, who would then report it to Sarutobi Hiruzen. However, the result of this would at most make Sarutobi Hiruzen scold Danzo and stop this matter. It would not make Sarutobi Hiruzen trust Uchiha Shizu more. Nor would it make Sarutobi Hiruzen have more opinions about Danzo. After all, Sarutobi Hiruzen knew what kind of person Danzo was. Danzo had done too many more excessive things, and this was nothing at all. Uchiha Izumi could not be regarded as a target, and Danzo might target the next person. The second choice was Shiraishi's decision now, to kill the root ninja directly. In this case, Danzo would have two suspects. Either suspect Uchiha or suspect Sarutobi Hiruzen. But no matter which of the two, Danzo would stop his actions against Uchiha, at least temporarily. Moreover, since Danzo may suspect Sarutobi Hiruzen, he will not tell Sarutobi Hiruzen about this matter, but will secretly and quietly investigate it. This process will free up a lot of time. Time is on Shiraishi's side. In addition, Danzo's opinion of Sarutobi Hiruzen may gradually become stronger during this process. Being in a lower position, Danzo's mind is completely different from Sarutobi Hiruzen. Facing this matter, there will be different psychology. Go now. Yes, Danzo-sama. Two figures walked out of the root. The uniforms on their bodies were similar to those of the Anbu ninjas. They wore masks and did not reveal anything related to their true identities from their appearance. Danzo has collected a lot of people over the years, including ninjas from ninja families. The two lurked in the dark and waited patiently, waiting for the opportunity for Uchiha Izumi to leave the Uchiha station. Danzo did not like Uchiha, but the root ninjas could not ignore Uchiha and go directly to the Uchiha station to arrest people. To be precise, it created an opportunity for Uchiha Izumi to leave the Uchiha base. It was getting close to evening. The sky was a little dark. It was drizzling. Shiraishi stood under the eaves. The ninja cats had already hidden in the house, fearing that the splashing rain would wet their fur. Alice was making cat food in the kitchen. A fragrance wafted out. After smelling the fragrance, the ninja cats couldn't help but come to the door of the kitchen. But they were stopped by Alice. In front of Shiraishi, Alice was like a cute little girl. But in front of these ninja cats, Alice was still very majestic. Shiraishi looked into the distance. A cool breeze blew towards him. If nothing unexpected happens to Uncle Handbeat, the problem of tempeh should be solved tomorrow. But even if the problem of tempeh is solved, the dishes made by Uncle Handbeat will inevitably have defects. Then, should I use the power of the tongue of God to help Uncle Handbeat solve some problems? You can try. After all, Uncle Handbeat's favorability towards me has reached 86. With such a high favorability, Uncle Handbeat shouldn't think that I have bad intentions when I make suggestions. Besides, Uncle Handbeat's magnanimity is not that stingy. Perhaps, Uncle Handbeat's favorability will be raised to more than 90 tomorrow. It's likely that it's a chef-type ninja cat. In that case, Alice's work can be shared. The sky became darker. Uchiha Izumi trotted. Not long ago, Uchiha Izumi received a verbal notice and went to the ninja school, but when he arrived at the ninja school, he found that no one was waiting for him. So after waiting for a while, when no one was waiting, Uchiha Izumi could only go back. The rain just stopped a little. Two figures stood on a high place. The location was the only way for Uchiha Izumi to return to the Uchiha residence. It was very hidden. Taking action here would hardly alert other people. Moreover, it was very easy for two root ninjas to deal with a little genin girl who was less than 10 years old and had just passed the early graduation exam from the ninja school. Here I come. Seeing Uchiha Izumi approaching, the two looked at each other. Then, the two restrained their breath. At the same time, the muscles in their bodies were tense. They were ready to attack at any time. Uchiha Izumi didn't notice anything wrong at all. The ground was a little muddy. When running, a lot of mud and water splashed up and splashed on Uchiha Izumi's clothes, which made Uchiha Izumi a little unhappy. This was the new clothes that Uchiha Raizumi's mother prepared for Uchiha Raizumi after graduation. Uchiha Raizumi's mother said that she didn't want Uchiha Raizumi to become a combat ninja. But her concern for Uchiha Raizumi would not decrease because Uchiha Raizumi became a ninja. Go. A voice fell. But the two root ninjas didn't notice that a figure had approached them before they knew it. Chapter 40 Danzo, Hiruzen, is that you? Demon lip snake breath. The two only felt something very soft touching them. What? Before they could see clearly what it was, their bodies froze. Bang, bang. The bodies of the two people fell down involuntarily. Puff. The sound of a sharp blade piercing into the heart and then being pulled out was heard. Uchiha Raizumi ran through this distance, still not noticing anything, and soon, his figure disappeared. Yang Iron took the two bodies into the woods. Dig a pit and bury them. Violet withdrew her gaze from the Hokage building. Danzo was waiting. He waited for a long time. But until midnight, Danzo did not wait for the return of the two root ninjas. This made Danzo's face gloomy. Come here. A root ninja, under Danzo's order, led the team members to investigate. It was not until the early morning that they got any results. Danzo-sama. Danzo looked at the two bodies in front of him, and his face became even gloomier. What is the cause of death? My lord, the fatal injury is the heart injury. However, we also found signs of poisoning in these two people, but we didn't find out what the specific poison was. Danzo looked at a ninja from the Yamanaka clan. The Yamanaka clan has a secret technique that can search the memory of the human brain. Even corpses can be used. However, if a living person is used with this secret technique, the brain will be directly brain dead. And if the brain of the dead is too severely damaged, it cannot be used. Search their memories. Yes, my lord. After a while, the Yamanaka ninja withdrew his hand and shook his head. My lord, the inside of these two people's brains have been completely destroyed, and their memories before death cannot be read. Danzo's eyes flickered for a long time. Everyone go down. Yes. Everyone retreated, leaving only Danzo and the two corpses. Danzo pulled a chair and sat in front of the corpses, staring at them closely and carefully, looking at the corpses from top to bottom, making sure there was nothing missed, and then retracting his gaze. Poisoned. One hit kill. The opponent's strength is far above these two. These two, one Chunin and one special Jonin. Even Jonin can't do this. At least they have to be elite Jonin, or have some special abilities. Could it be Uchiha, or Hiruzen? These two root ninjas were killed in the process of targeting Uchiha Raizumi. Therefore, the first person Danzo could think of was Uchiha. Someone from Uchiha discovered the actions of the root ninjas he arranged, so he killed two root ninjas. However, this made Danzo feel a little strange. How could Uchiha Raizumi be discovered so quickly, when his people were just about to take action? Did the Uchiha clan specially equip Uchiha Raizumi with secret guards? When did the Uchiha clan become so extravagant? Moreover, the Uchiha clan is good at illusions, not poisons. Even if it is a means of confusion, how can the Uchiha clan come up with such a poison? Could it be that, from the beginning, Uchiha Raizumi was a bait? But this is even more impossible. Could it be that the Uchiha clan knew that I would deal with them? Even if they knew that I don't like them, what good would it do them? After thinking about it, Danzo felt that the possibility of the murderer being an Uchiha was not high. If it's not an Uchiha, then there is a high probability that it is Hiruzen. The person, Hiruzen, must be there. And the reason? Danzo looked towards the direction of the Hokage building and narrowed his eyes slightly. Hiruzen felt that he had already controlled the situation of the Uchiha clan, so he no longer needed me to help him do so many things, and wanted to weaken my power. Uchiha Raizumi, if it was a bait set up by Hiruzen, it would make sense. The more Danzo thought about it, the more he felt that this possibility was greater. In the final analysis, because Danzo looked down on the Uchiha clan in his heart, without Uchiha Madara, Danzo didn't think the Uchiha clan was that strong. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said such words to Uchiha Shisui in the original plot. It is a waste to use such ability to deal with a mere Uchiha. This refers to Uchiha Shisui's attempt to use Kutamatsukume on Uchiha Fugaku. Danzo thought it was a waste. Instead, he thought that it would not be a waste to use Kutamatsukume's ability on the high-ranking officials of other ninja villages. It was just a mere Uchiha. He could handle it. At this time, in Danzo's view, the situation of Uchiha was that after Madara, there was no more Mangekyo. Hiruzen has this reason. He has already controlled Uchiha Shisu's part of the Uchiha, and can control the Uchiha people. He also has the ability to design all this. Through the telescope technique, you can see the situation around Uchiha Raizumi. As an elite jonin, Hiruzen has quite a few subordinates. He also deliberately destroyed the heads of my 2 subordinates, so that their memories could not be read by the secret techniques of the Yamanaka clan. The Uchiha people may not know that there are people from the Yamanaka clan among my roots. Hiruzen, is it really you? If it's you, aren't you a little too anxious? You haven't completely controlled the Uchiha yet, but you can't wait to weaken me? You're too ungrateful by doing this. Without me, can you sit so firmly on the position of Hokage? How many dirty things have I done for you during the years you've been Hokage? You take the benefits. I'll bear the bad reputation. Have I contributed less to the village than you? No. My contribution to the village is no less than yours, but I can only live in the shadows, like a tree root, rooted in the earth, supporting the entire trunk. You have won the position of Hokage, and gained a good reputation. It is obvious that our abilities are equal and our efforts are equal, but the rewards we get are completely unequal. It is unfair to me. Now you want to take away some of what I have? This is too much. However, the more Danzo thought that it was Sarutobi Hiruzen, the more he dared not act rashly. Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, "I'm the Hokage." It was like a thorn that pierced deeply into Danzo's heart. At the same time, it was also a shackle for Danzo. Next, it seems that I must be more cautious. Make plans before taking action. Investigate the matter of Uchiha Raizumi in secret. Don't find any excuses for Hiruzen. But, Hiruzen, you will definitely pay the price for trusting Uchiha like this. The next day, Kajero and Violet returned to Shiraishi. My lord. Chapter 41 is typed by hand. 90 points of favorability. The 2 root ninjas have been dealt with. Shiraishi pointed in the direction of the restaurant and said, I have asked Alice to prepare food for you. After eating, go to bed early. You have been guarding all night. You have worked hard. Yes, sir. Shiraishi came to the backyard. Before, Peiko Mako was training Uchiha Raizumi, and in order to make it easier for Uchiha Sasuke to practice Kyune throwing, a corner of the backyard was cleaned up. It is equivalent to a small training ground. Ninjutsu training can be carried out. Shiraishi took out a few shurikens. Fire escape, balsam chloride. The next moment, flames appeared out of thin air, wrapped around the shurikens thrown by Shiraishi, and shot towards the target opposite together with the shurikens. Bang, bang, bang. The shuriken hit. Failed. Try again. A day passed quickly. At 4:30 in the afternoon, Shiraishi finished training, took a shower, and changed clothes. Alice, don't prepare my dinner. Violet, come with me. Shiraishi took Violet and headed straight to the direction of the handmade ramen shop. Shiraishi, Uncle Handmaid, has the problem with tempeh been solved? Handmaid smiled. It has been solved. Come and sit down. I'll make you ramen with tempeh. The taste is much better than before. It can be used as a signature ramen. It's delicious. Shiraishi sat down at the front desk. Then I have to look forward to it. Handmaid was making ramen with a serious expression, and Ayame was helping him beside him. The soup, small ingredients, and ramen were prepared one by one, and the heat was rolling. It's ready. Not long after, Handmaid brought the prepared ramen to Shiraishi. Shiraishi picked up the chopsticks and stirred it slightly. Then he picked up the bowl, leaned forward, and took a sip of the soup first. Compared with the last time, it was indeed a big change, especially in terms of freshness. But, compared to the dishes made by Alice, it's still a lot worse. Shiraishi thought. God's tongue. An inexplicable power emerged on Shiraishi's tongue. Shiraishi picked up the ramen and put it into his mouth. This time, Shiraishi felt completely different. It didn't feel like tasting. Shiraishi felt that his tongue seemed to have turned into a ruthless analysis machine. Whether it was delicious or not was no longer important. The ramen in his mouth seemed to have turned into a pattern. And on the pattern, there were many missing parts, which were the shortcomings of this ramen. For no reason, they appeared out of thin air in Shiraishi's mind. One by one, they were listed clearly. Shiraishi raised his eyebrows slightly. Is this the ability of God's tongue? It's really amazing. I can point out the shortcomings of content that I don't understand at all. But this should be my God's tongue ability. And as for Erina, the premise of explaining those shortcomings is that you must understand cooking. My God's tongue is not the same as Erina's God's tongue. He looked at Shiraishi with a little nervousness. Beishi, how is it? Very delicious. Shouda smiled. It's okay as long as it tastes good, but I can feel that it's not the perfect ramen now. It seems that something is missing. Beishi looked at Violet. Violet nodded. Beishi retracted his gaze and looked at Shouda again. He hesitated for a moment and said, Uncle Shouda, if you want to give me a suggestion, I do have one here. Where? The soup tastes outstanding and is very delicious, but I don't know if it's because of this. The noodles seem a little weak. Maybe Uncle Shouda can improve it in this direction. Noodles. Shouda's eyes lit up as he thought about it. It seems to make sense. I'll try it again. Shouda quickly returned to the stove, thinking about how to improve the noodles, and then found a method that might be suitable from his many experiences. He immediately started to try kneading the noodles, pulling the noodles. Soon, the hand-beaten ramen was done again. This time, the hand-beaten ramen made 3 bowls directly. Ayame, and Shiraishi, each with a bowl. Shiraishi, try it again. Shiraishi nodded. God's tongue. The improvements made by the hand-printed noodles are effective. If the previous bowl of ramen noodles had many loopholes under the effect of the God's tongue, then this bowl now has fewer loopholes. Shiraishi, how is it? It tastes better. The hand-printed noodles smiled happily. This proves that my improvements are effective. Thanks to Shiraishi. If it weren't for your reminder, I don't know when I would have realized this. Shiraishi, you really understand cooking. The numbers above the hand-printed noodles changed rapidly. 90. A person who loves cooking and has his own understanding of cooking. A voice sounded in Shiraishi's mind. The hand-printed favorability has reached 90. Do you want to collect it? Collect. Collected successfully. Do you want to make a request? No. Shiraishi did not use the power of the God's tongue again, but quickly finished both bowls of ramen. Uncle Shouda, Sister a chorus, I'm done. As he said that, he took out a few banknotes from his purse and placed them on the front desk. Shouda saw it and hurriedly said, Shiraishi, why are you still paying? How can I let you pay for eating noodles here? And today I have to thank you. Uncle Shouda, it's reasonable to pay for food. No, you are not here to eat. You are here to help me find the problem. If you have to pay, it should be me who should pay you. And this ramen is the recipe you came up with. Shouda forcibly pushed the money back into Shiraishi's hands. Okay, then I won't pay this time. You don't have to pay in the future. Shiraishi, you come to the ramen shop for free for life. Uncle Shouda, if you say that, I won't dare to come again. Then put it in the account and deduct it from the profit of this ramen. Shouda pretended to be angry and said, if this doesn't work, Shiraishi, you really don't regard a chorus and I as friends. Okay. Shiraishi could only agree. Shouda's expression finally relaxed. By the way, Shiraishi, please give this ramen a name. I'm going to put it on the shelves in the store, and it needs a formal name. Senior Shouda, you come up with the name. No, this is the recipe you took out. Shiraishi thought for a while. Then let's call it 3-person special ramen. The original name of this dish was Seiichiro special ramen, but there is no Seiichiro in this world, so Shiraishi simply replaced the 3 words Seiichiro. Shouda's eyes lit up slightly. Not bad, not bad. This name is good. It can restore this ramen. The 3 of us have contributed a lot. It can be regarded as a witness to our restoration process. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42, Little Chef, Meet the Master. As he was talking, Shouda suddenly sighed. Come to think of it, it's been a long time since I felt this way. This reminds me of my childhood. At that time, I followed my mother and my sister. Because my mother is a chef, I'm interested in cooking and have been influenced by her since I was a child. And among the dishes, I chose ramen. I really miss that time. In order to study a dish, I think about it all day and all night. When I suddenly figured it out, the surprise is really refreshing. That's the fun of cooking. But unfortunately, when I learned a lot, my mother had passed away due to illness. And my sister also left. Shiraishi, thank you for your recipe. Shiraishi waved his hand. Uncle Shouder, you ask me not to be so polite to you. Why are you being polite instead? Shiraishi couldn't wait to return to the ninja tool shop. He asked Violet to look around and make sure that no one was approaching before focusing on the system. Request. You sent a request to the heavens and the worlds. In the vast universe, countless eyes looked over. A being named Ayame Oxing responded to your request. You received a sea-level response. The next moment, a ball of white light appeared in Beishi's hand. Ayame Oxing. Beishi had expected this. When Xiaoda recalled his childhood experience, Beishi found that Xiaoda's childhood and Ayame Oxing's childhood were very similar. Ayame Oxing came from the world of Chinese cuisine. He was a top chef and the son of Master Abedi. His father was also a top chef. He grew up under the influence of cooking since he was a child. He grew up with bumps and bumps all the way. It was not very smooth, but Ayame Oxing overcame all the difficulties. On the road to growth, he gained many partners. Later, he became an undisputed chef god. Even though the world is different, Ayame Oxing's talent, in Beishi's opinion, is higher than Alice's. In other words, it was also a sea-level response. But this time, the sea-level response would be stronger than Alice's sea-level response. Shiraishi picked up the box of snacks next to him and shook it. Hearing the sound, the ninja cats came over immediately. Meow meow meow. A ninja cat rubbed Shiraishi's calf. A ninja cat tilted its head back with a thirsty look. A ninja cat wanted to eat, but stuck out its neck proudly. Shiraishi poured out some snacks and threw them out. The ninja cats immediately scrambled for them. Shiraishi threw the ball of light in the direction of the ninja cats. A blue cat saw the ball of light, jumped up lightly, and bit it. The ball of light entered the blue cat's body. A burst of white light suddenly burst out on the blue cat's body, covering the blue cat completely, forming a cocoon. Not long after, a crack appeared on the cocoon. Crack. A figure broke out of the cocoon. The blue cat had completely changed its appearance. The humanoid walked upright, wearing a chef's uniform, but it was completely different from Alice's chef's uniform. Beishi couldn't help but think of a uniform. That is, the uniform of the top chef in the world of Little Chef. It was mainly red and white, and there was a dragon pattern on the sleeve. The blue cat came to Beishi. Little Chef, I'm here to see you. Beishi raised his eyebrows slightly. He was a little surprised that Ayame Oxing called himself Little Chef. After all, Little Chef is not a real name, but just a translation of a sponsor brand. Just like Doodoo, Jiddy Master, etc. Some words appeared next to Alice. Name, Little Chef, Ayame Oxing, cat. Gender, male. Strength, genin, can be improved. Weapon, none. Ability, taste image deduction. A ninja cat who lives a chef's life. However, judging from this ability, he is not ordinary. Taste image deduction. When seeing the ingredients, he can deduce the taste. This ability, to some extent, is even stronger than the tongue of God. Little Chef's cooking skills must be better than Alice's. Shiraishi waved to the outside. Alice, come in. Yes, sir. Alice walked in and saw Little Chef the first time and couldn't help showing a curious expression. Because Alice could feel that Little Chef was a chef like herself. This is Little Chef, our new partner, and he is also a chef like you, Alice. You can exchange cooking skills more in the future. Then the work in the kitchen can also be distributed. The previous work was actually a little too hard for a ninja cat like you. Now with Little Chef, you can relax a little, Alice. Then Shiraishi looked at Little Chef again. Little Chef, follow Alice and learn about our situation here. Yes, sir. Alice took Little Chef out. A new voice sounded in Beishi's mind. You successfully trained a ninja cat and received a reward. Would you like to receive it? Receive it. You have gained the ability, Super Sense of Smell. Beishi's thoughts moved. Suddenly, the smells around entered Beishi's nasal cavity in large quantities. It was not because Beishi inhaled more air than usual, but because of his sensitive sense of smell. The smell of the ninja cats, the smell of the house, the smell in the kitchen, the smell in the warehouse, the smell in the backyard, and even the smell in the woods outside the backyard. Those faint long distance smells that are impossible to detect at ordinary times. At this moment, Beishi can sense them clearly, very clearly. The sense of smell has been greatly improved, both in terms of sensitivity and distance. This is extremely useful for ninjas. The transformation technique can change one's appearance, but it cannot change one's smell. Because of the existence of ninja dogs, some ninjas may place some strong smelling things on themselves, or use smells to induce. But my sense of smell is better than that of ninja dogs, and no one knows that I have such a strong sense of smell. So when someone enters my olfactory range, I can feel it the first time. It can be used for tracking. It can also be used for defense. Danzo dared to target Uchiha Raizumi, and I have had a lot of contact with Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi. Sooner or later, someone's eyes will fall on me. The tongue of God is only of great help to me in cooking. But the super sense of smell can be used very well in ninja battles. Once you smell a smell, you will never forget it again. Chapter 43, Yashiro. Will Uchiha definitely lose? Two figures came to the ninja tool shop. At this time, the shop was past the opening time. Shiraishi had just finished dinner and was digesting the food in the backyard. My lord, someone is here. Violet's voice rang out on the roof. Who is it? Uchiha Shisui. The other one, I don't know. However, Shiraishi had already guessed it. Last time, Uchiha Shisui said that he was going to bring Uchiha Yashiro here, and the three of them would work together to make follow-up plans. Bang, bang, bang. There was a knock on the door. Peiko Mako opened the door. Uchiha Shisui walked in. Uchiha Yashiro, who was standing next to him, showed a slightly surprised expression after seeing Peiko Mako. Uchiha Yashiro was naturally no stranger to ninja cats. The Uchiha clan had a close relationship with ninja cats. However, Uchiha Yashiro knew that cats were creatures with very strong personalities, and the feeling Peiko Mako gave Uchiha Yashiro was different from the ninja cats that Uchiha Yashiro had seen before. Machiko, where's Shiraishi? The master is in the backyard. At this time, Shiraishi had already walked out of the backyard. Shisui. Then he looked at Uchiha Yasuda. Good evening, Yasuda senpai. Are you Shiraishi? Uchiha Yasuda looked at Shiraishi. Before coming, Uchiha Shisui had already introduced Shiraishi to Uchiha Yasuda, and only emphasized one sentence. Shiraishi's wisdom is above mine, comparable to the top Nera. Yes, I'm Uchiha Shiraishi. Shisui, Yasuda senpai, let's go to the lounge. Shiraishi took the lead and walked to the lounge, followed by Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Yasuda. The three sat down. Shiraishi picked up the teapot on the table and poured a cup of scented tea for the two and himself. This tea is good. Uchiha Yasuda took a sip, and his eyes lit up slightly. Shiraishi, was it you who proposed the reform plan for the guard department? I guess so. Shiraishi nodded and said, I discussed it with Shisui. Uchiha Yasuda looked at Shiraishi, his eyes flickering. Are you so pessimistic about the situation of Uchiha, Shiraishi? This question made Shiraishi raise his eyebrows slightly. Before this, Yasuda senpai, you seemed to be the leader of the radical faction. It was because of your existence that the radical faction could compete with the conservative faction of Patriarch Fugaku. That's right. Then what do you think, Yasuda senpai? Uchiha Yasuda was silent for a moment. We will fight for the status, rights and interests that we Uchiha deserve. If we have to, we don't mind using violence to get them and go to war with them. But 8th generation senior attitude alone will not win you anything. As for violence, 8th generation senior, who do you think the target of Uchiha's violence will be? Of course it's the village's top leaders, but it's just the top leaders. After hearing the answer from the 8th generation Uchiha, Shiraishi knew. The radicals had been making a lot of noise before, but in fact, the members of the radicals had not seriously thought about the issue of civil war, or in other words, they didn't really want a civil war. They just wanted to fight for some benefits with such an attitude. Maybe they also thought about the possibility of a real civil war, but they definitely didn't think about it seriously. Instead, they just had an attitude of covering up the water with soil. If you want to fight, I will fight. They didn't have a clear concept of the enemy, themselves, and civil war. A true hunter will not make a big noise, but will hide his breath, hide in the dark, accumulate strength, wait for the opportunity, and kill with one blow. Just like Shiraishi's current plan. Only a fake hunter will walk up to the other party openly, reveal a fierce expression, curse loudly, and spit on the other person's face. The previous Uchiha radicals were in this state. If these people really want a civil war, they should never let others know. But almost everyone knows the attitude of the Uchiha radicals. Uchiha Shisui, Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha Fugaku, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo, other major ninja families. Even some villagers can see it. Senior 8th generation. I'm not pessimistic, but it's the truth. The problem between the Uchiha and the village leaders is ultimately a matter of interests, and it can't be changed by statements. It's a fact that the Uchiha thinks the Uchiha haven't gotten the benefits they deserve. The village leaders also know this fact. Once the words civil war are spoken, in fact, civil war is inevitable. The Uchiha people will feel more and more that they are treated unfairly, and the village leaders will become more and more wary of the Uchiha. There is no way trust can exist between the two sides. This is the most important problem. Senior 8th generation, do you agree? The Uchiha 8th generation thought for a while, recalled the changes in the radicals under his leadership, and nodded. The Uchiha 8th generation could see the situation. But if a civil war breaks out, Shiraishi, do you think that our Uchiha will definitely lose in the current situation? We Uchiha are the #1 ninja family in Konoha. Shiraishi shook his head. That was only in the past. The current Uchiha clan is much weaker than before. The strength of the village leaders is constantly increasing. And even now, the Uchiha clan is still the #1 ninja clan in Konoha. If a civil war really breaks out, there are only two ways. One is that the village leaders take the initiative to deal with the Uchiha clan. The other is that the Uchiha clan takes the initiative. In the former case, the rest of the village will stand by and watch. In the latter case, the rest of the village will even take the initiative to deal with the Uchiha clan. In both cases, in the former case, the village leaders must be sure of their victory before they take action. In the latter case, the Uchiha clan will have even less chance of winning. In addition, there is a more serious problem, that is, will the Uchiha clan really be united? Uchiha Yasudaro was stunned. Uchiha Yasudaro wanted to say yes to this question. But after thinking about it seriously, Uchiha Yasudaro found that he had no way to convince himself. Even Uchiha Madara couldn't make all the Uchiha clans united, let alone others. The Uchiha people have strong personalities. This is an advantage. But it is also a disadvantage. All kinds of people can be found in the Uchiha. Therefore, the best choice we can make is to hide our true purpose, reduce the fear of the village leaders towards us, and secretly accumulate strength at the same time. Reform of the guard department can achieve the effect of killing two birds with one stone. 8th generation senior, we can't leave any luck in the civil war. Therefore, we can't place too much hope on the conservatives. The matter of training the radicals depends entirely on the seniors. Chapter 44. Shisui opens the Mangeki Sharingan. Uchiha Yashiro nodded. I will do my best to train them, but according to what you said, Shiraishi, to what extent do I have to train them to be qualified? Shiraishi looked at Uchiha Shisui. I can only ask Shisui about this. Now Shisui is disguised very well, and has initially gained the trust of Sarutobi Hiruzen. He will definitely be able to obtain more information about the village's high-level officials in the future. Moreover, Shisui should be considered the most talented one among our Uchiha after Senior Kagami. Therefore, Shisui will be a very important part of our strength. If Shisui can awaken the Mangeki Sharingan like Senior Madara, then the possibility of our Uchiha radicals winning the civil war will be greatly increased. This sentence made Uchiha Yashiro's eyes light up. To be precise, he couldn't help but think of the time when Uchiha Madara was still in the Uchiha clan. How powerful and glorious the Uchiha clan was at that time. It was like two ninja families compared to now. Mangeki Sharingan. Uchiha Yasuda looked at Uchiha Shisui. Uchiha Shisui was stunned for a moment, then shook his head. I'm afraid I can't. After Madara Senpai and Izuna Senpai, no one else has opened the main Jiki Sharingan. Even seniors Jiji and Kagami have never done it. How can I do it? No one in the current Uchiha knows whether Uchiha Jiji and Uchiha Kagami have opened the main Jiki Sharingan. And based on the current views of the Uchiha people on the main Jiki Sharingan, if they don't know, they tend to think that they haven't opened it. After all, Uchiha Madara, who clearly opened the main Jiki Sharingan, showed too strong. There is no other Uchiha who has reached the level of Uchiha Madara. That's true. The light in Uchiha Yasuda's eyes dimmed, and he patted Uchiha Shisu on the shoulder. But Shisu, you have done very well. Among the younger generation of Uchiha, you and Shiraishi are the few people who can be relied on. Your talent and Shiraishi's wisdom are both excellent. If it weren't for the two of you, I might still be on the wrong path. When Uchiha Yasuda said this, it proved that Uchiha Yasuda had been convinced by Shiraishi. Before, Uchiha Yasuda might have made such a decision, just because Uchiha Shisu led some radical members of the radical faction. Now, Uchiha Yasuda agreed with Shiraishi's statement. Civil war is indeed inevitable, and the strength of Uchiha is actually weaker than that of the village leaders. The best choice now is to show weakness to the enemy and accumulate strength in secret. Shiraishi. Uchiha Yasuda turned his attention back to Shiraishi. I agree with what you said, and I agree with your wisdom. Shisu is right. Your thinking is indeed very clear, and your ideas are indeed excellent. It seems that the future of Uchiha will be entrusted to you and Shisu. I hope that I can see the scene of Uchiha rising again in my lifetime. If so, I will have no regrets in this life. Shiraishi smiled. You are too kind, Senior Yashiro. We are all members of Uchiha, and we all work hard for Uchiha. Uchiha Yashiro left. Uchiha Yashiro has achieved his goal today. He saw Shiraishi, the brain trust in the mouth of Uchiha Shisu, and Shiraishi is indeed as good as Uchiha Shisu said. Uchiha Yashiro is still not sure whether the civil war plan can succeed. But after seeing that there are two such good talents among the younger generation of Uchiha, Uchiha Yashiro has more expectations for the future of Uchiha. Shiraishi and Uchiha Shisu sent Uchiha Yashiro to the door. 46. A rising Uchiha. I wonder how talented he is as a ninja. The first time they met, he had a 46% favorability, which was beyond Shiraishi's expectations. Uchiha Shisu must have contributed to this. This made Shiraishi more certain that his previous strategy was correct. For someone who has reached a 90% favorability and cannot make a second request, there is no need to alienate or be cold to him, but to continue to maintain or even improve the favorability again. Because favorability can be contagious. To put it simply, a friend of a friend is my friend. Uchiha Shisu can provide great help to Shiraishi in improving the favorability of Uchiha Yasudashi. Shiraishi, you just told Yasudashi that civil war is inevitable? Shiraishi shrugged. That was just a light Yasudashi, but what you said just now seems to make some sense. There is indeed not much trust between the village leaders and the Uchiha, and it is very difficult to solve this problem. Uchiha Shisu frowned, a little worried. That's right. Shiraishi nodded and said, but as long as the Uchiha are restrained enough, then the village leaders will not take action against the Uchiha. After all, if they take action against the Uchiha, the village leaders will have to pay a heavy price. We have already done this. As for the Uchiha, as long as the information you provide shows that the strength of our Uchiha is still far behind the village leaders, then the Uchiha will not have a chance to act. Deception is not a good virtue, but well-intentioned deception can often bring good results. Uchiha Shisu's eyes flashed. To the Hokage, we lied to him and said that the Uchiha no longer had the heart to rebel. To the Uchiha, we lied to them and said that the Uchiha's strength was far behind the village leaders. But Shiraishi, how long can our lies last? What should we do if the lies are exposed? Uchiha Shisu did not question Shiraishi's plan, otherwise he would not act according to Shiraishi's words, but Uchiha Shisu was still worried. Because Uchiha, Konoha village, and Uchiha Shisu care too much about it. It can last for a long time, at least until you, Shisu, get the position of the Uchiha clan leader, it can be maintained. And when you, Shisu, get the position of clan leader, whether these lies are exposed or not will become less important. However, the prerequisite is that Shisu must ensure that you always act according to our plan. Shisu, you are the key to our plan and the core of these two lies. If you don't have any problems, there won't be any problems. Uchiha Shisu's expression became serious, and he said seriously, "You can rest assured about this, Shiraishi. I will definitely not have any problems. I believe you." Shiraishi stood up and said, "Shisu, come in. There is a new chef, Shinobi Cat, in the ninja tool shop. He is very skilled. I asked him to make some midnight snacks. Let's try it together." "Okay." A figure entered the Hokage building. "Hokage-sama." Sarutobi Hiruzen looked up. "Speak." Chapter 45 Sarutobi Hiruzen's plan. What is this? Uchiha Shisu was slightly stunned when he saw the food on the table. Perfect color, tempting aroma. More importantly, this is a cooking style that Uchiha Shisu has never seen before. This is one of Zyudanjia's specialties. Magic Mapo Tofu. This dish is not suitable for midnight snacks, but it is one of Zyudanjia's main representative dishes, and it can also be regarded as the beginning of Zyudanjia's journey to become a chef. So Shiraishi really wants to taste it. Try it. Okay. Uchiha Shisu picked up the spoon and gave himself a spoonful of the best. As soon as he took a bite, Uchiha Shisu's eyes couldn't help but light up. Multiple flavors burst, condensed, and intertwined in Uchiha Shisu's mouth. However, it did not have a bad effect on other flavors. Instead, it was perfectly mixed together. Spicy, fragrant, numb, crispy, hot. What a magical taste. Uchiha Shisu closed his eyes. After a long time, he opened them. Looking at the magic Mapo tofu on the plate again, Uchiha Shisu seemed to see a picture that did not exist at all. This made Uchiha Shisu wonder if he was under an illusion. He shook his head quickly and came to his senses, realizing that he was still in the ninja tool shop. This dish. Shisu, how is it? Very good. Uchiha Shisu tasted another bite, savoring the feeling of tofu being chewed in his mouth. Alice's cooking is already very good, but this dish is indeed better than Alice's. Uchiha Shisu looked at Shiraishi. Shiraishi, why is there such a good cooking skill among the ninja cats? And the food they cook is human food. Shiraishi shrugged. I don't know about that. I just followed the request of the cat lady before she left, asking me to take good care of the ninja cats. As for why they can cook, it may be because of their hobby. Alice and Zyudanjia's taste is actually very similar to ours. Uchiha Shisu nodded. Shiraishi also tasted a bite. The taste was not only delicious, but also made Shiraishi miss it very much. It was the taste in the memory of the previous life. But even in the previous life, the Mapo tofu that Shiraishi had eaten was far inferior to the one made by Zyudanjia. If Alice's cooking skills are a dimensionality reduction attack on the world of Naruto, then Zyudanjia's cooking skills are another dimension. The gap between Alice and Zyudanjia is still not small. Hokage building. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the documents handed in by the Enbu ninja in front of him, his eyes flickering. The undercovers of the hidden mist village. These guys are actually lurking so deep. They have been in Konoha for so many years, and have not been noticed by others. The people trained by the hidden mist village are no worse than Danzo's people. In Konoha, Sarutobi Hiruzen is responsible for light, and Danzo is responsible for darkness. Because all these dirty jobs were given to Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen still felt that he owed Danzo something, but at this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt less indebted. It's not just Konoha that has people who can do the dirty work. Other villages have them too, and they do it better. If Danzo doesn't do it, there are others who can do it. There are 4 people on the list. Suddenly, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked in the direction of the security department. Maybe this is a good opportunity, but we have to plan it well. S-level missions, not S-level missions, are easy to handle. This matter has already involved village level intelligence, and Sarutobi Hiruzen can upgrade it to S-level. Some people may have opinions, but Sarutobi Hiruzen is a Hokage. He can do it with just one sentence. If others have doubts, it won't have much impact. What Sarutobi Hiruzen wants is how to make Uchiha Shisu gain great fame in addition to completing this S-level mission, and further deteriorate the relationship with the Uchiha Fugaku faction. Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Itachi. The image of Uchiha Itachi emerged in Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind. If you ask what Uchiha Fugaku cares about the most, besides the Uchiha clan, it may be the son who has the reputation of being a genius like Shisu. If nothing unexpected happens, Uchiha Fugaku should want to train Uchiha Itachi to be the next head of the Uchiha clan. Inside the Uchiha clan, some people call Shisui and Uchiha Itachi the twin stars of the Uchiha clan. The relationship between the two is said to be pretty good. If Uchiha Itachi dies in this mission, then the relationship between Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Fugaku will be impossible to reconcile, and the two will only become enemies. But, in that case, when Uchiha Fugaku gets old, Shisui will probably dominate the clan. Shisui's talent is far superior to Uchiha Fugaku's. Shisui hasn't shown any big ambitions now, but now Shisui wants to be the head of the Uchiha clan. When I die, and Konoha is controlled by my descendants, will Shisui still be willing to be just the head of the Uchiha clan? I'm afraid not. Uchiha Itachi cannot die. It is the best option to let him be seriously injured in this mission. It can make the relationship between Shisui and Uchiha Fugaku faction worse. At the same time, Uchiha Itachi can continue to contain Shisui in the future. It keeps the Uchiha split. Such an Uchiha is a good Uchiha. It is the best for the village in my Sarutobi clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked out the window. Go, let Shikaku come. Yes, Hokage. A figure disappeared with a whoosh. Not long after, Nara Shikaku arrived at the Hokage building and entered the Hokage's office. Hokage-sama. Shikaku, sit down. Thank you, Hokage-sama. After Nara Shikaku sat down, Sarutobi Hiruzen asked calmly, Shikaku, what do you think about the current situation of Uchiha? Hokage-sama, you want to support Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Fugaku to oppose each other? Yes, Shikaku, do you think it is feasible? Nara Shikaku hesitated and said, as long as it is handled properly, it is definitely feasible, but the Uchiha clan is not as easy to control as the Hyuga clan. But now, there is definitely no problem. After all, Hokage-sama, you are here. The key to the problem lies in the future. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. Your idea is the same as mine, so I plan to make Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Fugaku have an irreconcilable hatred and let them split completely. Chapter 46. It's not us who should be anxious, it's Danzo. This is a good opportunity, Sarutobi Hiruzen said, Anbu people have discovered 4 undercover agents from the Hidden Mist village lurking in Konoha. They have been lurking for many years, so they must have collected a lot of important information. I plan to let Shisui carry out this mission, but in the process, I hope to seriously injure Uchiha Itachi, and it's because of Shisui. There can't be any loopholes. Shikaku, what do you think we should do? Nara Shikaku was silent for a while. Hokage, just let Uchiha Itachi also enter this incident, and then increase the difficulty of Uchiha Shisui's mission, so that Uchiha Shisui has to face a dilemma. Either, you can only kill the mission target, and give up Uchiha Itachi. Or, you can only save Uchiha Itachi, and give up the mission target. Sarutobi Hiruzen narrowed his eyes slightly. At the same time, it can also test whether the weight of other Uchiha in Shisui's heart is worth my trust. However, Nara Shikaku's suggestion reminded Sarutobi Hiruzen of some not so good memories. Another person had made this choice back then. Konoha White Fang. Hatake Tsukumo, Kakashi's father. In the S-level mission, he also faced this choice. On one side was the mission target. On the other side was the village partners. At that time, Hatake Tsukumo chose the latter, so the mission failed. This led to Konoha being reprimanded by employers. For a while, the village lost a large number of mission commissions, and many employers distrusted Konoha's ninjas. The situation was very bad. Not only were there many negative discussions, but more importantly, the actual interests of many people were affected. People outside reprimanded the village. People in the village reprimanded Hatake Tsukumo. Even the ninjas that Hatake Tsukumo had saved were like this. So Hatake Tsukumo collapsed and chose to commit suicide at home. A senior who was respected by the 3 ninjas of Konoha. An elite jonin who obtained half of the Hokage sleeves. A genius ninja who made Hatake's swordsmanship shine on the battlefield. Just like this, he committed suicide in his own home. The scene of falling in a pool of blood brought great psychological trauma to the young Kakashi at that time. Some people said that the death of Konoha White Fang was a conspiracy because Sarutobi Hiruzen was worried that he would threaten his position as Hokage, so he deliberately designed all this. Others said that it was just a coincidence. No matter what choice Hatake Tsukumo made at that time, he would have a bad result. It was really bad luck. But as for what the real situation was, perhaps only the parties involved at that time knew. The former statement made Sarutobi Hiruzen very dissatisfied. Gradually, fewer and fewer people dared to mention it. Now there are not many people in the village who still remember Hatake Tsukumo. Make a detailed plan for me, Shikaku. Yes, Hokage. After Narashikaku left, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked in the direction where Narashikaku left, and his eyes flashed. Shikaku doesn't seem to want me to use Uchiha. But, that's normal. After all, if there is one more ninja family that I trust, Inoshikacho's position in my heart will drop a point. But, you, Inoshikacho, are too much of a Shikacho. Sarutobi Hiruzen was actually a little dissatisfied with this. In the past, Inoshikacho was closely attached to the Sarutobi clan. But as time went on, Inoshikacho's strength gradually increased. Now Inoshikacho has some intention of standing alone. In Inoshikacho's situation, it is impossible to obtain the position of Hokage, but Inoshikacho no longer has to rely on the Sarutobi clan, but has the right to choose. Even if the next successor Hokage is not from the Sarutobi clan, Inoshikacho can still obtain a good position. To put it simply, Inoshikacho is no longer a retainer of the Sarutobi clan, but a retainer of Konoha. This can be seen from Inoshikacho's investment in Danzo. And after Namake's Minato came to power, Sarutobi Hiruzen clearly felt it. Inoshikacho's position has clearly leaned towards Minato Namake's, rather than the Sarutobi clan. If the Uchiha clan can be controlled, then we can form a constraint with you, Inoshikacho. In this way, the position of my Sarutobi clan will be more stable. Originally, I had such expectations for the Hyuga clan, but unfortunately, they can't help it up. They are both Ijutsu families like the Uchiha clan, but their mentality is completely different. Too weak. Weak. I like it. But if it is so weak that I can't use it, then it will become a waste. Narashikaku return home. Yamanaka Inoichi and Akimichi Choza had already been waiting in the study. Shikaku, how is it? Narashikaku sat down opposite the two of them. The two stared at Narashikaku. After a long time, Hokage-sama is very determined to control the Uchiha clan, and seems very confident. This time he asked me to go over to make a plan, to split the Uchiha clan. But at the same time, it is also a test for us. Yamanaka Inoichi frowned. Hokage-sama intends to trust Uchiha, and make use of Uchiha. What about us Inoshikacho? You are still testing Shikaku. Does that mean that Hokage-sama intends to be ungrateful and erase the contributions of us Inoshikacho to his Sarutobi clan? Without us Inoshikacho, how could the Sarutobi clan be what it is today? Narashikaku interrupted Yamanaka Inoichi's complaints. Inoichi, don't say such things again in the future. Between families, it's all about interests. There is no such thing as being worthy or apologetic. It's understandable that Hokage-sama wants to control the Uchiha. The key to the problem lies in what we ourselves are going to do. Yamanaka Inoichi stopped talking. Akimichi Choza looked in the direction of the Hokage building. Shikaku, what are you going to do? Narashikaku said calmly, we don't need to rush. There are people who are more anxious than us. If the Hokage controls the Uchiha clan, we, the Inoshikacho clan, will just get less benefits. But we have never been eager for more. We will give in to a little bit of benefits, and the impact will not be great. But, for one person, the hope is even slimmer. Akimichi Choza's pupils shrank slightly. You mean, Danzo? Yes, if the Hokage controls the Uchiha clan, the Sarutobi clan's position in Konoha will be more stable. It is not impossible to send Asuma to the position of Hokage. Danzo will probably be very unhappy with this situation. Chapter 47 Undercover Ninja from the Hidden Mist Village. My lord. Violet came to Shiraishi. Violet, what's wrong? Itachi Uchiha seems to be in trouble. What kind of trouble? I don't know the details. I just saw Itachi Uchiha fighting with someone. Is his life in danger? Not yet. Violet shook her head. The ninjas fighting Itachi Uchiha are not from Konoha. In addition, not far from the battlefield, there are ninjas from Konoha secretly observing. Shiraishi raised his eyebrows slightly. He couldn't help but glance in the direction of the Hokage building, and a guess came to his mind. Itachi Uchiha stared at the people in front of him. Kirigakure undercover? I will never let you leave. The village intelligence must not be lost. Itachi Uchiha was not entangled between Uchiha and Konoha, let alone between Konoha and Kurapika. After realizing the identity of the other party, Itachi Uchiha made a decision. Even if it cost his life, he must contain these people. If these people were allowed to take away Konoha's information, the consequences would be disastrous. Kid. A young man looked at Uchiha Itachi and snorted coldly. You are just a little kid, so arrogant. Do you think you can stop us? You go first, I'll take care of this guy. The other three looked at each other and nodded. Okay. The young man took the initiative to rush towards Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi was not afraid at all. He shook his wrist and several shurikens flew out first. Then he took out a kunai and rushed towards the young man. Ding. A sharp and piercing metal collision sounded. Suddenly, the young man's face changed. Because the young man found that Uchiha Itachi's strength was not much less than his own. This made the young man feel incredible. He was an adult ninja. And the other party was just a child. Who is this guy? Could he be a genius of Konoha? The young man recalled the young geniuses he saw when he was in the Hidden Mist village. Zabuza Momochi, Kisame Hoshigaki, Meditarumi. Since that's the case, I have to kill you. When you grow up, you might bring a lot of trouble to the Hidden Mist village. The young man's face darkened, and a hint of murderous intent appeared in his eyes. At this moment, Uchiha Itachi raised his head. The Magatama slowly turned in Uchiha Itachi's eyes. The young man's pupils shrank. Uchiha. No wonder. You are so young, but you have such strength. Could it be that you are the instant body Shisui? Uchiha Itachi did not speak. One hand blocked the young man's kunai, and the other hand took out something from the ninja bag. His eyes looked straight at the young man. Illusion. Sharingan. A burst of illusion power fell on the young man. Suddenly, the young man's figure froze. Uchiha Itachi stuffed the thing in his hand into the young man's arms. The next moment, bang, an explosion sounded. The young man's figure flew backwards. The three who had already left heard the sound and turned back in a hurry. After seeing the young man's situation, their faces turned ugly. When they looked at Uchiha Itachi again, there was a hint of anger and fear in their eyes. Let's go. The middle-aged man gritted his teeth. We can't waste the opportunity he created for us. The young man was not dead, but Uchiha Itachi didn't plan to care. Uchiha Itachi's thinking was very clear. This is Konoha, the young man is already injured, and the detonating tag just now made such a big noise. Other Konoha ninjas will definitely come soon. Either the young man is captured, or the young man is killed. There will be no third result. Therefore, chasing the other three people is the most important thing. Hokage building. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the crystal ball in front of him, his eyes flickering. Uchiha Itachi. They are indeed worthy of the title of the Uchiha Gemini. That Kirigakure ninja is at least a chunin. But, when facing the opponent, Uchiha Itachi easily gained the upper hand. And his thinking is very clear. A genius. However, the more this is the case, the more Uchiha Fugaku values Uchiha Itachi. The more he certainly wants to let Uchiha Itachi inherit his position as the clan leader. Then, Uchiha Fugaku will dislike Shisui even more. Almost, it's time to let Shisui enter. An Anbu ninja, under the order of Sarutobi Hiruzen, went in the direction of the security department. At the same time, huge explosions occurred in several locations in Konoha. Flames burned and thick smoke billowed. For a moment, the situation in the entire Konoha seemed to be chaotic. The villagers hid in their homes. The ninjas of the patrol department and the Anbu ninjas went out one after another. The ninjas of the major ninja families were guarding their respective family bases. At the same time, they waited for Sarutobi Hiruzen's order. Uchiha Shisui. The Anbu ninja came to Uchiha Shisui. The Hokage has ordered. Uchiha Shisui's expression became serious. Please speak. The Kirigakure undercover has escaped, and we must pursue him immediately. In which direction? Southwest entrance. Okay. As soon as the voice fell, Uchiha Shisui's figure flashed, and when he appeared again, he was already far away from the Anbu ninja, which made the Anbu ninja couldn't help but exclaim in his heart. Is this the instant body Shisui? Uchiha Itachi chased after the three Kirigakure ninjas. This brat is endless. It's really hard to deal with. The middle-aged man looked at the woman. Rika, you take the information and go. The two of us will cover you and kill this brat. Otherwise it will be difficult for us to pass on the information. You go first, and we will catch up later. The woman hesitated for a moment and nodded. "Senior, be careful." The middle-aged man waved his hand. "Don't worry. I don't believe that the two of us can't deal with this kid. The Sharingan is indeed special, but there is no way to completely deal with it. We have fought with Uchiha people more than once or twice." The middle-aged man and another young man stopped Uchiha Itachi. The woman did not slow down. The Magatama rotated in Uchiha Itachi's eyes. But this time, the middle-aged man and the young man were on guard, and it was not so easy for Uchiha Itachi's illusion to hit. The current Uchiha Itachi has not awakened the Manger Key, and he is less than 10 years old. He is far less powerful than the Knight of the Genocide in the original plot. Kill. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the picture in the crystal ball and raised his eyebrows slightly. Facing two people at the same time, he was only slightly at a disadvantage. And he held on. Once he adapts to the attacks of the two opponents, he may even turn from a disadvantage to a balance. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but feel a bit sour in his heart. Chapter 48 Uchiha Itachi vs Kirigakure Ninja. No matter what the Uchiha people are like, geniuses do appear generation after generation. Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Raizuna back then. Then there was Uchiha G. Then there was Uchiha Kagami. And now there is Shisui and Uchiha Itachi. This ninja family is so blessed by God. It's a pity that they are just too stupid. If all these geniuses were given to my Sarutobi clan, how grand would my Sarutobi clan be? I have to admit that Asuma's talent is indeed much worse than Uchiha Itachi's. But my Sarutobi clan also has its own geniuses. Shinosuke's talent is not necessarily worse than Uchiha Itachi's. Now he has perfectly mastered two types of ninjutsu, and can also use fusion ninjutsu. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes flickered. As long as Shinosuke can succeed, then, no matter what, I can push the position of Hokage to Shinosuke. A long time ago, Sarutobi Hiruzen paved the way for Sarutobi Shinosuke, both in terms of reputation and strength. And after the death of Minato Namikaze, Sarutobi Hiruzen was particularly worried about the safety of Sarutobi Shinosuke. Therefore, he deliberately arranged for Sarutobi Shinosuke to leave Konoha and train in a place that no one knew, in order to gain strength above the elite Jonin, that is, the level of Kage. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew very well that strength was the key among the keys. Sarutobi Hiruzen could prepare other aspects for Sarutobi Shinosuke, but only strength needed to be obtained by Sarutobi Shinosuke himself. And Sarutobi Hiruzen believed that with Sarutobi Shinosuke's talent, he could do it. In the whole Konoha, no one else knew about Sarutobi Hiruzen's arrangement. Not even Danzo knew. All the people in the village knew was that Sarutobi Shinosuke had disappeared for a long time. But it was not certain whether he went on a secret mission, or maybe he disappeared. Only Sarutobi Hiruzen himself could be sure that Sarutobi Shinosuke was still alive. However, Shiraishi was also clear about this, because at this time, Konohamaru was not yet born. Uchiha Sasuke was less than 4 years old. Uzumaki Naruto was younger than Uchiha Sasuke. And Konohamaru was more than 4 years younger than Uzumaki Naruto. Puff. The kunai in the middle-aged man's hand scratched Uchiha Itachi's face, and a trace of blood spurted out, drawing an arc in the air. The intense pain stimulated Uchiha Itachi. However, Uchiha Itachi was not negatively affected, but became more sober. Uchiha Itachi looked at the direction where the woman fled. We can't let that person escape from Konoha. Absolutely not. At this moment, under a strong sense of urgency and mental stimulation, Uchiha Itachi seemed to have undergone some inexplicable changes. In an instant, Uchiha Itachi's momentum changed. The middle-aged man's pupils shrank. However, the young man next to him did not notice it, but when he saw Uchiha Itachi stupefied, he thought that Uchiha Itachi had a flaw, and couldn't wait to seize this opportunity. Be careful, the middle-aged man reminded hurriedly. But it was too late. Uchiha Itachi moved his feet to avoid the young man's attack, and then turned his wrist. He swung it upwards suddenly. Puff. A crack appeared at the young man's throat. Uchiha Itachi glanced at the young man lightly, quickly retracted his gaze, and shifted his gaze to the middle-aged man. The young man's eyes widened, and he seemed to find it hard to believe the situation at the moment. He wanted to do something. However, with the loss of a large amount of blood, even his breathing was hindered. The blood poured back into the young man's lungs. The young man only felt that his strength was constantly decreasing. It was very uncomfortable. The body fell down involuntarily. Bang! The next moment, he fell heavily to the ground. Uchiha Itachi bent his knees slightly. The middle-aged man and Uchiha Itachi's eyes met. When looking into Uchiha Itachi's eyes, the middle-aged man couldn't help but feel a little fear in his heart. That kind of chill, that kind of attitude, as if he had determined something and would never give up until he achieved his goal. But then, this fear turned into shame and anger. He was an elite ninja of the Hidden Mist Village, facing a kid who was less than 10 years old, even if this kid was an Uchiha. But what about an Uchiha? After all, he was just a kid. He actually felt fear. It was outrageous. Don't be too proud. The middle-aged man steadied his breath. However, even in the previous situation with two people, they were unable to defeat Uchiha Itachi, not to mention that there is only one person left now. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the crystal ball and narrowed his eyes slightly. The two fought again. The middle-aged man's mentality was unstable, and the situation was getting worse. On the other hand, Uchiha Itachi became more and more courageous. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. An adult's state of mind is not as good as that of a teenager. Is this the ninja from the Hidden Mist Village? After all, he is still a little worse than the ninja of my Konoha. When he realized that he might really be defeated, the middle-aged man had to suppress the anger in his heart, and while fighting, he moved away from Konoha. Uchiha Itachi saw the middle-aged man's intention, but did not stop him. Because Uchiha Itachi's target was not just the middle-aged man. Uchiha Itachi's ambition was much greater than the middle-aged man expected. He also wanted to stop the woman who escaped before. Seeing that the two had come to the edge of Konoha, outside, several figures were coming here at a very fast speed. They were all wearing black clothes. Even their faces were covered. The actions were very clean and neat. The middle-aged man's eyes lit up. Quick, kill him. At first glance, Uchiha Itachi could not tell the identities of these people, but the middle-aged man could tell that these people were the ninjas sent by the Hidden Mist Village to support the intelligence ninjas. In a sense, they can be regarded as death warriors. That is, their lives have a lower priority than the intelligence ninjas. If one of them must die, they must die first. And for the middle-aged man, what is more important is that the fighting strength of these people is much stronger than his. He is not Uchiha Itachi's opponent, but the strength of these people is definitely above Uchiha Itachi. Kill him. Uchiha Itachi's expression became serious. The moment a death warrior ninja heard the middle-aged man's words, he drew out two swords, jumped high, and slashed in the direction of Uchiha Itachi. Ding. With the huge force coming, Uchiha Itachi's figure involuntarily retreated more than 10 steps. Uchiha Itachi raised his head, and the Magatama turned in his eyes. Illusion, Sharingan. At the same time, Itachi Uchiha quickly formed seals with his hands. Fire style, balsam claw red. The flame burned on the shuriken, and went towards all the Kurapika ninjas. The middle-aged man snorted coldly. Too greedy, you really don't know how to live or die. At this time, you still want to tie down all of us? Do you really think we can't kill you? You forced your move, and revealed such a big flaw. Now, it's your death. The park recommendation failed. The editor asked me to wait and see if there is a chance to revive next week. I hope everyone can help. Read more and vote. Thank you. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49, The Choice of Konoha White Fang. Back then, in the middle-aged man's opinion, Uchiha Itachi's attack this time was indeed too strong. His support has arrived. Uchiha Itachi can't be the opponent of so many people. What's more, a Kurapika death ninja has already rushed towards Uchiha Itachi. At this time, Uchiha Itachi still wants to contain all the Kurapika ninja, so there will inevitably be a gap, and the Kurapika death ninja who rushed towards Uchiha Itachi can take advantage of this gap. A burst of mist trapped the death ninja. The figure of the death ninja disappeared from Uchiha Itachi's sight. When he appeared again, he had come to the side of Uchiha Itachi. Swish. More than a dozen senbon shot towards Uchiha Itachi. Sarutobi Hiruzen saw that in the crystal ball, Uchiha Itachi was trying his best to dodge, but after all, the previous attack left too many gaps, and Uchiha Itachi dodged these senbon. But Uchiha Itachi couldn't stop the next round of attacks from the Death Ninja. Puff! Itachi's clothes were torn. A huge hole appeared. Inside the hole, you can see the wound turned out, and blood was flowing out. The intense pain did not change Itachi's expression. Just when the Death Ninja was about to attack Itachi again, a figure appeared at a very fast speed. Ding. The Death Ninja retreated. Itachi, are you okay? Uchiha Shizu looked back at Itachi, a little worried. Even though Uchiha Itachi now made Uchiha Shizu feel a little strange, but he still regarded Uchiha Itachi as a friend. Shizu Senior, don't worry about me, go chase those Kirigakure ninjas. But, no buts, once those Kirigakure ninjas take the information away, the consequences will be disastrous. But at this time, it was not only Uchiha Shizu who could make a choice. Before watching Uchiha Shizu make her choice, Kirigakure ninjas had already made a choice first. A Death Ninja and the middle-aged man fled far away. The remaining 3 Death Ninjas all attacked Uchiha Itachi. The Kirigakure ninja had already judged the situation. Konoha had fully reacted. Uchiha Shizu's support was only the first step. After Uchiha Shizu appeared, there would definitely be more Konoha ninjas to support him. In this case, it was the best choice for the Kirigakure ninja to take away the intelligence. We can't consider how many sacrifices we have to make. But no matter how many sacrifices we have to make, we must contain Uchiha Shizu and Uchiha Itachi. This is the best choice. The Death Ninjas also have the awareness of sacrifice. Then doing this now is the best choice. Uchiha Itachi will definitely not be able to stop the attack of the 3 Death Ninjas, and Uchiha Shizu will inevitably face a difficult choice. Either abandon your companions and chase the middle-aged man, or give up the pursuit and protect your companions. The Kirigakure ninja saw that Uchiha Shizu was also an Uchiha. Therefore, it is believed that it is highly likely that Uchiha Shizu will choose the former. Uchiha Shizu had the same choice as Hatake Tsukumo. Uchiha Shizu cared about Uchiha Itachi's life, but he also cared about the information in the hands of the Kirigakure ninja. Shizu Senior, if you don't chase him, I'd rather die here now. Uchiha Shizu looked at Uchiha Itachi deeply. Okay. The next moment, Uchiha Shizu chased in the direction the middle-aged man left, which meant that Uchiha Itachi would face 3 Kirigakure Death Ninjas alone at the same time. This pressure was huge. 1 against 3, the opponent had an absolute advantage in numbers. In addition, the strength of these Death Ninjas was much stronger than that of the Intelligence Ninjas, and they were from the Kirigakure village. With the name of Blood Dance Village, these Death Ninjas did not hesitate to attack their companions, not to mention the ninjas from the enemy village. Uchiha Itachi's situation became very critical. Uchiha Shizu did not look back. Since the decision has been made, Uchiha Shizu will not regret it. Now Uchiha Shizu is not thinking about whether to go back to save Uchiha Itachi. Instead, he needs to catch up with the middle-aged man and another intelligence ninja who escaped from Kirigakure as soon as possible. After dealing with the intelligence ninja of Kirigakure, he will go back to save Uchiha Itachi. I need it to be faster. Instant body technique. At such a speed, Uchiha Shizu's figure seemed to turn into a green phantom. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the picture in the crystal and narrowed his eyes slightly. 1 against 3, facing 3 Kirigakure death warriors, he actually performed like this. Uchiha Itachi. Before, Sarutobi Hiruzen judged that Asuma's talent was lower than Uchiha Itachi, but Sarutobi Hiruzen was proud of Shinosuke. But now, Sarutobi Hiruzen had to admit that even Shinosuke was not as talented as Uchiha Itachi. But as long as they are divided, the Uchiha clan will not be a threat, unless someone like Uchiha Madara appears again. Otherwise, it is impossible for them to threaten my Sarutobi clan. The picture in the crystal ball disappeared. At this time, Uchiha Itachi and the 3 Kirigakure ninjas had already left Konoha and were beyond the range of Sarutobi Hiruzen's telescope technique. Sarutobi Hiruzen retracted his gaze. It's time for a ninja family to contain the Inoshika-chou. Since you want to be more loyal to Konoha than my Sarutobi clan, then don't even think about getting more from my Sarutobi clan. The 3 ninjas looked at each other after seeing Uchiha Shizu leave. Originally, they planned to kill Uchiha Itachi in the shortest possible time. But Uchiha Itachi's difficulty was beyond their imagination. Before, Uchiha Itachi was trying to contain them, so he fell into a passive situation. But now, Uchiha Itachi no longer needs to contain them, but only needs to ensure his own life. In this situation, Uchiha Itachi's strategy was completely different. It was not so easy for the 3 death ninjas to kill Uchiha Itachi. So one of the death ninjas used a large-scale ninjutsu on Uchiha Itachi. Water escape, water dragon bullet technique. The other 2 death ninjas chased in the direction of Uchiha Shisui. Uchiha Itachi's eyes flashed, and he wanted to do something. But he was firmly restrained by the death ninja. In the woods not far away, 2 ninjas were looking in the direction of the battlefield. Their sights fell on Uchiha Itachi. However, these 2 people were not ninjas from the hidden mist village, but ninjas from the root. Chapter 50 Uchiha Shisui Sashigeki Kisame. In a one-on-one fight, Uchiha Itachi was not at a disadvantage. However, before this, Uchiha Itachi could not do this when facing the death ninja, but it was only during this fierce battle that Uchiha Itachi made progress. This discovery made the death ninja on the opposite side a little flustered. Once he was flustered, Uchiha Itachi seized the opportunity. Fire escape, great fireball technique. The huge fireball hit the death ninja and exploded on the death ninja's body. Just when Uchiha Itachi was about to leave this death ninja behind and support Uchiha Shisui, 2 root ninjas hiding in the dark made a move, and the first move was a killing move. Uchiha Itachi had no idea of this situation, but when he realized it, it was too late. The attacks of the 2 root ninjas were accurate and deadly. Uchiha Itachi's eyes widened. Puff. 2 streams of blood spurted out, dyeing the nearby ground red. Uchiha Itachi gritted his teeth, trying to suppress the pain and find a chance to escape or fight back, but the 2 root ninjas were too experienced. In terms of talent, these 2 root ninjas were far inferior to Uchiha Itachi, but in terms of experience, Uchiha Itachi was far inferior to him. After one attack, the second one came immediately. Uchiha Itachi tried his best to dodge, but was still hit. He had another wound on his body. Too much blood flowed, making Uchiha Itachi's face pale. His body was also shaky. Just when the 2 root ninjas were about to kill Uchiha Itachi completely, an Anbu ninja appeared. The 2 root ninjas were startled and looked at each other. One threw a shuriken at the Anbu ninja. The other took the opportunity to aim at Uchiha Itachi's vitals and gave him a fatal blow. Retreat. The next moment, the 2 root ninjas retreated at a very fast speed. The Anbu ninja came in front of Uchiha Itachi, stretched out his hand, and touched Uchiha Itachi's neck. After confirming that Uchiha Itachi still had a pulse, he breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he is still alive. But when the Anbu ninja saw the injuries on Uchiha Itachi's body, the Anbu ninja's expression became serious again. With the severity of this injury, if he is not treated immediately, he may not survive tonight. The Anbu ninja's eyes flickered, picked up Uchiha Itachi, and sent him to the Konoha medical department at a very fast speed. On the other side, Uchiha Shisui quickly caught up with the middle-aged death ninja. The death ninja stopped and tried to stop him. However, Uchiha Shisui is now much stronger than Uchiha Itachi, especially in terms of speed, and most ninjas have high attack and weak defense. Therefore, when the speed is increased, the efficiency of killing will be extremely high. Instant body technique. The death ninja only saw a green light flashing in front of him. Then, he felt a pain in his throat. He fell before he could make a move. The middle-aged man turned around with a horrified expression. Uchiha Shisui didn't mean to say anything, because he was worried about Uchiha Itachi's situation. Uchiha Shisui just wanted to get rid of all the intelligence ninjas in the hidden mist village, as soon as possible. One blow, fatal. The middle-aged man's eyes widened, unwilling to fall. Who are you? Uchiha Shisui didn't answer, but continued to move forward. There is only one intelligence ninja left, and he has left a long time ago. It is already far away from Konoha. In the woods, there are 2 figures, one man and one woman. The woman is one of the intelligence ninjas before. The other one exudes a colder and bloodier aura than those death ninjas just now. Short blue hair, standing up, like a pine cone. He is wearing the clothes of a death ninja. The facial contour is very obvious, even a little too obvious, and looks similar to a shark. If Shiraishi is here, he will definitely recognize the other party's identity. It was one of the main members of the future Akatsuki organization, Hashigaki Kisame. Suddenly, Hashiga Kikusame's face changed. The woman didn't react. Bang! Uchiha Shisu's figure appeared in an instant and collided with Hashiga Kikusame. Hashiga Kikusame's face changed again, because just by fighting with Uchiha Shisu once, Hashiga Kikusame could feel how strong Uchiha Shisu was. Moreover, Hashiga Kikusame also saw Uchiha Shisu Sharingan. Uchiha Shisu. Hashiga Kikusame's expression became solemn. Hashiga Kikusame had heard of Uchiha Shisu's reputation. He was famous for his instant body technique. Few people could keep up with Uchiha Shisu's speed. Moreover, Uchiha Shisu had more than just speed. Fire escape, illusion, physical skills, ninja tools. These Uchiha Shisu would not be weak. The woman looked at Hashiga Kikusame worriedly. Are you okay? Hashiga Kikusame shook his head. You go first, I'll stop him. The woman gritted her teeth. Okay. Then, she turned around and ran in another direction. Uchiha Shisu wanted to pass Hashiga Kikusame to stop the woman, but before that, Hashiga Kikusame made a seal. Water style, water same bullet. A ball of water appeared in front of Hashiga Kikusame, condensed, and turned into a shark shape. This shark was like a living creature. Your opponent is me. Uchiha Shisu's expression was slightly stern. Fire style, great dragon fire technique. The dragon formed by flames collided with the shark formed by water. In an instant, white water mist rose up and covered the entire nearby area. The two chased in the direction of the woman while fighting. Hashiga Kikusame wanted to restrain Uchiha Shisu and pull the two to another direction, but he couldn't do it after all. Uchiha Shisu's strength was above Hashiga Kikusame. This made Hashiga Kikusame feel a little unwilling. Obviously, he was older, and he was also a genius like a leader in the Hidden Mist Village. Uchiha Shisu was only 13 years old. It was like Uchiha Itachi, who was only 13 years old, joined the Akatsuki organization after the night of the genocide and met Orochimaru. Orochimaru thought it would be easy for him to take down Uchiha Itachi, but in the end, he was almost killed by Uchiha Itachi in seconds. After that, Orochimaru was determined to get the body of Uchiha Sasuke. Before, Orochimaru didn't have such a strong obsession with Uchiha. The woman noticed the approach of Uchiha Shisu and Hashiga Kikusame, and she was anxious. But the more anxious she was, the more problems there would be. With a stumble, the woman fell to the ground. But what made the woman even more desperate was that there was no way forward. Going further ahead was a cliff. Just surrender, and you still have a chance to survive. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.